belly soreness. Caleb Grill at forward along with Yuki Kawamura and Mac McClung. It's going to be fun seeing Yuki. He's only played 2 games so far for Windy City, both on the road coming off the bench. Tonight he's in a starting role.
Well, first of all, he's healthy, which is a good thing to see. And I'm excited because I haven't seen him in person because he didn't play for the team last year in the games that I called. So, and he's had some chance to play up with the big club. And, let's see what kind of impact he has tonight. I know he's got a great following and the fans are excited.
Opening tip controlled by the Nets. They put on a great offensive performance. They shot 58% from the field yesterday. Season highs in points scored, shooting percentage, and field goals made. And of course, Billy joked with me before the game. He said, well, we didn't play defense. That's why they got able to do all those things.
Ah, Mr. Obvious, huh?
Yuki played yesterday in Toronto for the parent Bulls, had some flashy assists. That behind-the-back pass to Modest for a dunk was something special. Georgie going up, all knocked away, will stay with the Windy City Bulls.
And Georgie, when he catches that ball, he was thinking about what he wanted to do as far as dunk that ball with some flair, right? But he's still got to keep that thing. He's got to keep it chin so the guard can't slap down on it and knock it out of bounds.
Mac McClung, fresh off signing that 2-way contract with the Bulls. He played in Toronto last night as well. He hits his first shot. McClung averaging 27 points a game in regular season play.
Well, I tell you what, he wasn't really looking to shoot that basketball, and then he heard the bench yelling at him. The shot clock was winding down, and he just rose up and knocked it down. So a quick 3 points, and I loved how he shrugged his shoulders on his way back down the floor.
Well, when you're a scorer, when in doubt, shoot.
That's correct.
It's always good strategy.
The shooter's never in a slump. They just keep shooting.
E.J. Liddell being guarded out front by Bezhanishvili. Nate Williams going strong to the hole. Maneuvers around Caleb Grill for the little bank shot.
Wow, how about he switched it into the left hand and stuck it around the extended hands of Grill to get it to go in.
Now Kawamura showing that speed. Couldn't get it up on the other side. And the rebound controlled by the Long Island Nets. Here comes Nate Williams, the natural left-hander, kicking the ball out. E.J. Liddell for 3. Ball knocked out of bounds. It's going to go to the Long Island Nets. That time, Yuki and Mo Gay kind of got mixed up on who was going to take that rebound.
Yeah, it's, and you got to give Scott credit for Long Island. He came in from the backside. Again, nobody put a body on him, so he was able to, get a full jump. Couldn't get his hand on it, was able to knock it off the Bulls player and keep possession.
Trevon Scott way out high. He's getting the start at the center position in place of Grant Nelson, who's getting a day off for some reconditioning work. He scored 21 points, so we don't mind him not being here as Malachi Smith hits a little jump hook in the paint.
And if you want to say something in regards to, as we just talked right there with McClung, right? We know McClung can score. There's no doubt about it. But Malachi right now, he's using his length from his height, but he's also using his length with his arms to make things difficult for McClung, not only on the defensive end, but as you saw right there, trying to get by the initial defender.
Yeah, after the turnover, a little 2-on-1 break, an alley-oop and a dunk. So Windy City has to be careful against this Long Island Nets team. Georgie going in with the right hand. Nice finish. Good pass inside.
But a nice job by Georgie after the pass, cutting to the basket, but also making himself available.
Malachi Smith dropping the ball off to Scott. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line. And, of course, our nightly reminder in the G League, any shooting foul, you just shoot 1 free throw. So he'll shoot 1 free throw. Chance to add 2 points to the Nets total.
This is what I think that, Billy was talking about in regards to not playing a lot of defense here. We talk about sometimes maybe you need to pre-rotate when you see what's going on from the weak side. Pretty much outside of that shot by Liddell, all the shots for Long Island early, right at the paint, right at the rim.
Scott gets the friendly roll as it crawls over the front of the rim, so 2 points more for the Long Island Nets. Kawamura at 5'7", running the point. Bulls are the smallish backcourt with McClung playing at the shooting guard spot. We get a foul as he tries to split a couple of defenders. That's going to go against Trevon Scott. No shooting foul, so McClung will inbound the ball side court. He sent a little blitz Yuki's way. Shot clock at 10. Nice move underneath the taller defender and lays it in.
But that's where speed pays dividends, right? You change gears, the defender hesitates just enough so you can get by him.
On the other end, Trevon Scott, little floater along the baseline. Bulls need to get their defense tightened up after giving up 143 yesterday. Yuki blow by. We get a foul called on Etienne.
And that's, Yuki's strength right there, right? You saw it in the previous play right by the rim. Then you see it on that particular play right there away from the rim, right? He does such a great job of changing speeds and keeps the defense off balance when they're just trying to stay in front of them.
And after a long discussion with the 3 game officials, they finally decided, yes, it was a shooting foul, so Kawamura will shoot 1 for 2 points.
Well, I think Billy better be glad they did, because he was out on the court trying to make his point, and it worked.
So Yuki converts the free throw.
But I think that's also a benefit for Billy, where you're considered mild-mannered, right, as a coach. And then they find you out in the middle of the floor, and like, maybe he has a point.
E.J. Liddell, the former Windy City Bull, with a nice pass inside. Some good interior work by the Long Island Nets. Yuki again on the attack. Mohamedou Gueye for 3. A little side spin shot hits the front of the iron. And here comes E.J. Liddell. Bangs into Mo Gueye over the top. No good. Long rebound tapped out to McClung. You know he's on the attack, going all the way to the rim.
Oh!
Comes up short. Georgie's tip, no good. And the rebound to the Nets. Nate Williams pushing the other way.
Man, 2 point-blank shots I couldn't get to go in.
We get a foul on the Bulls. That'll send E.J. Liddell to the free throw line.
Cure. Got both of them up in the air. That's kind of take your pick.
Yeah, Mohamedou Gueye is going to get charged for the foul. And once again, yesterday's game, Windy City only had 8 players active. They've got 9 today, so a little bit better, but you still want to avoid foul trouble.
Yes. Especially the bigs, because that's where, you know, the lack of height in yesterday's game really hurt them, specifically on the boards and being able to protect the rim.
Liddell coming off that 30-point performance in yesterday's game. He was a perfect 5 of 6 from the free throw line. 6 of 6, excuse me, as McClung gets in the paint. Off to Gueye. He'll try the other corner. Misses that as well. Here come the Nets looking to run at every opportunity. Good lead pass ahead. Nate Williams lays it in. And Billy Donovan wants a timeout. Not happy with the way his team is getting back in transition defense as the Nets jump out to a 16-9 lead. On the other side of the break, we will talk to the man who's celebrating his bobblehead night. Stacey King joins us. Hey, we're back at Now Arena. The first 1,500 fans got this precious item, this collectible, the Stacey King talking bobblehead. And everybody is loving it. We saw a lot of them opening them up and really enjoying it. And the man of the hour, Stacey King, sitting courtside right alongside Will and I. Stacey, good to see you here.
Hey, you know, it's a pleasure. This is my first time out here, Mark, and I'm highly impressed.
And we've got the whole Give Me the Hot Sauce podcast crew. Tim Kelly is to Stacey's right.
Yes.
Enjoying himself as well, and you know, it's always good to see you here. Obviously, Yuki Kawamura and Mac McClung playing. It's
I'm here for the Yuki. I'm here for Yuki mania. Okay, this is Yuki's the only one who can get me off the couch tonight to a Windy City game.
And of course, he played in Toronto. You and Adam didn't do the game because it was on Prime.
Yes.
But it was fun watching those guys. They bring a little energy to the group.
You know what? They've been doing it all year, especially Yuki. Whenever he gets a chance to be called up, he's always ready to play. And being down here, he gets a lot of minutes. And it's both Lachlan and him. They get a lot of minutes. And when they come up to the big team, they're ready to go.
Hey, tell us about this whole bobblehead project. I know you had the original one a few years back, and this is a new version.
Yeah, it's a 2.0 version. So a special shout out to the Bulls and Mike Vegan. They came up with an idea for all the fans to come out here and support the Windy City Bulls. They thought it'd be a great thing for all the fans to come out and support them. And it happened to be on a day off where I could come out here and watch the game. It's the first time I've got to sit like in the expensive seats, baby.
That's right.
They normally got me in the nosebleed section.
Right in the front row, they got Stacey
I'm in the
and
front
Tim.
row. And Tim's over here rubbing my leg, and it's inappropriate. Inappropriate.
Is this an actual suit that you have?
Yes, it is. Will, don't say anything smarter, because I will reel off 10 on you right here. Okay.
I'm just looking at it, man.
And it's got my hot
Nice
sauce
move there
bottle.
by Georgie.
It's got my hot sauce bottle.
That's the biggest thing I noticed when they were showing it when we were doing the game last night. And they were like, Stacey King bobblehead, and I was like, Mark, is that a hot sauce
They did a
bottle?
really good job of the detail on it. And then they got it's a talking bobblehead, which you don't see a lot of those. And that makes it even really cool. And I hope everybody who showed up early, the 1,500 people, got one. And those who didn't make it, I hope that they do it again and give you an opportunity to get one.
So they have 3 different things that it says?
I think so, 3 or 4.
It's yeah. So you had say so in that.
They picked it out because I guess they feel I had so many things that I've said over the years. It was easy to pick it out, and they want to they want it where the fans can identify it. Give me the hot sauce is one of them. Sriracha.
Right, that's one of them. Give me the hot sauce. Let's see if you can get the other 2.
I know. I know when somebody he's go higher or he's from Chicago.
No.
All right, Will, way to put me on the spot, Will. Okay, Will. This is like a game show. Give me a vowel and there's no vowel.
Will thinks he's back at Vanderbilt with a midterm exam.
Exactly. Professor Will Purdue.
I know he's got so many sayings, but they picked 3 of them.
Yeah, they picked 3 of the best. They may not have been my best, but they're their best. So
Come on now,
give me a hint.
All right. Did you?
Oh, did you not get the memo?
Yeah.
Bingo. Derrick Rose.
Can go upstairs.
That's right. It's all one.
Yeah, there you go.
So did you voice these for them?
No, those are all.
They just pull them off TV.
Bulls TV does a great job. They have an archive of a lot of stuff. They used to have a soundboard of mine. When you called in, you could actually hit a soundboard of all my sayings, and so they keep a lot of the stuff that we do, and it's amazing.
So how come they don't have like organizations do? Why don't they have Stacey King when you call the Bulls? Hello, this is Stacey King. Thank you for calling.
That might
works. You know what, Will? Don't give them any ideas because that could possibly happen now that you brought it up. And that's just extra work for me.
You better read the small print in your contract.
I'm sure it's in there.
Hey, so the last one is they use the word big twice.
Big. Oh, too big, too strong, too fast, too good.
That's another one. But that would be more than twice if it was that one.
Okay.
It's the first word twice.
Oh, man.
Last word is plays.
Oh, big-time players make big-time plays?
Bingo.
Yes, there you go, Will. Where you go? Alex Trebek. I might have lost, Mark. Mark, I might have lost with that one. Will got me out. He got me stumped on it.
Hey, Georgie Bajanishvili, right
big
hand
Georgie.
hook, and a foul, the
Big
former
Georgie.
Illini star. Stacey, you know who the leader in three-point shooting in the G League is? You're looking at it, that man Georgie. He shoots 60% on threes. Not a high volume, but he's made 60% of his three-point
Well, they need to get him the
shots.
ball a little bit more on the perimeter. I haven't seen him shoot a 3 yet.
That's why he's smiling. We're talking about it right now.
Hey, Georgie got some moves on the post.
Stacey, I know fans are curious about what you think about all the trades that were made at the deadline. Obviously, the Bulls, 7 players out, 7 players in. What do you think of the moves?
Well, listen, and Will can attest to this. Anytime you are a player, a coach, a broadcaster, you get connected with these guys.
Yeah.
Kobe and Ayo and, Derrick Rose. When they leave, a piece of you goes with them. And it's really difficult. But also, playing this game, this is a business. Anybody can be traded, Mark. If they can trade Luka Doncic for a bag of chips and a Fanta orange, anybody can be traded. And the good thing about the guys that were traded, they got to go to places where they're going to be in playoff games. They're going to go deep into playoff runs. And I think AK and those guys did them a justice by doing that. The new guys that we got coming in are very talented. I was impressed with what I saw last night. To not know any plays, to not just have a walkthrough and then go out there and execute, I thought that was really good. And I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people say tanking. I don't believe it's tanking. I believe the Bulls are going to try to do the best they can. And, you know, they get Josh Giddey back. They get some of their guys that are hurt back. Who knows?
Yeah, I saw the comments from Ayo Dosunmu and then Kobe White with the Hornets, who are hot, winning 8 in a row.
Yes.
As you mentioned, the Timberwolves have been in the Western Conference Finals the last 2
Yes.
years. That's going to be great for Ayo to maybe have a chance to play in the finals.
Well, and listen to the Timberwolves guys. They really wanted Ayo.
Yeah.
They felt like he's a missing piece to what they're trying to do. Kobe gets to play at home. He gets to, you know, eat home cooking. His family get to see him every night. Both of those kids love Chicago. They will always be in the Chicago Bulls family no matter what jersey they have on. They will always be welcome back here, and they will always be part of the family.
Mac McClung hitting a 3 as Windy City pulls within 7. A little under 4 minutes to go. We're talking with Bulls analyst Stacey King on his bobblehead night. Everybody enjoying that collectible. I'm sure you'll be seeing them posted on eBay and all kinds of different services.
Yeah, you know what? There's some bootleggers out there, Mark. We know what happened the first time. It was on eBay for like $800. I told them to wait. I said, you can get a bag of chips cheaper, baby. Wait.
Nice pass by McClung. Couldn't get the first one to go. Georgie missing on the foul.
I like Mac McClung, man.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
I'm just wondering, like, what is it that he can't stick to a roster? He's athletic. He handles the ball. He can shoot it. He plays tough defense.
Oh, you know, Stacey, they got a lot of collectible items over in the far corner there. They've got the 6 trophies, and we've got a pair of Stacey King game-worn shorts. Did you know they raided your closet?
Mark, I was looking for them last night. You know, I got out of the shower. Trying to put on my old game-worn shorts, and they're missing. No wonder they've been over here. Who stole them?
They're selling them over there. They're bootlegging them too, man.
Oh, that's a three shots.
But here you only shoot one,
yeah,
baby.
It's the G League rule. 1 free throw for 3 points.
What?
Yeah,
so if you make one, you get 3?
Yeah, get the 3 points. Yeah, it pays to play. You want to shoot 1 free throw on any
until
shooting
the last 2 minutes.
I don't know if I like that idea. If you're a bad free throw shooter, that might work.
They've been experimenting with it for like the last 5 years, so I guess it really hasn't caught on at the NBA level.
Yeah, maybe they should go back to leaving alone, put the regular basketball.
We're going to have a little more with Stacey King on the other side. Windy City trailing by 9 here in the opening quarter. Keep it here on Chicago Sports Network. Back in our arenas, you see the layup made by Terry Roberts. Beforehand, Mac McClung made the free throw for 3 points, so it's 32-24. We are joined by Stacey King on his bobblehead night. Stacey, you're going to have a chance to see the new players for the first time tomorrow night. The game will be on Chicago Sports Network. Home game against the Denver Nuggets. That should be a nice matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup. Denver's starting to get everybody back now. And, you know, they're starting to look like the Denver Nuggets that could challenge for a title. But I'm looking forward to the new guys. I want to see what we got. You know, I watched the game in Toronto and really enjoyed it. I wish the Bulls would have played better. Towards the end, I thought they ran out of gas. All the new guys ran out of gas. So hopefully they'll be ready tomorrow.
We're going to keep it here. We'll talk with Stacey while we get another timeout on the court. Stacey, obviously you are a very well-rounded individual. You know, you do star stage, screen, and movies, music. I'm sure everybody's happy to see you out here today.
Where are you going with this?
No kidding. I was getting ready to say, Mark, where are you going? This is not the podcast, buddy. You know, we can say whatever we want to on a podcast, but not on a family channel, brother. No, I'm a man of the people, man. I mean, this is the first time I've been able to come out here because normally, you know, our schedule is so hectic. We play every other day. We're playing 4 games in 5 nights. You just don't get to, you know, to be able to come out and do this kind of stuff. And Mike Vigen brought it up to my attention, you know, months ago. And he said, hey, if you're available, I know, you know, it's an off day, but if you could come out, we'd love to have you. I'm like, yeah, if it's off day, I'll definitely be out there. Yeah. So that's why I'm here tonight. And it's cool to watch this because I used to coach in the CBA. Right. So I know what this atmosphere is all about. I mean, we didn't play in nice arenas like this. This is a nice arena.
But mentioning that, talk about those lovely bus rides in the CBA.
I'm going to tell you something. You got to be hungry, Will. You got to be hungry, and you got to be prepared to grind when you're at this level. I know the travel's probably different at this level because it's an NBA affiliate, and the NBA takes care of these guys. But in the CBA, man, we're busing everywhere. We're flying on little crop duster planes. We're eating at Waffle Houses. There's nothing wrong with eating at Waffle House, but you don't want to eat it every time you go out on the road. I felt like a trucker stopping to get food. Sometimes you're eating out of gas stations, old hot dogs at 7-Eleven. That's the CBA life. But you know what, though? Those kids enjoyed it. They understood what it was for. To get to that level, that next level, these are the sacrifices you have to make. Some is temporary. Some they have to stay a little longer.
Of course, we've got replicas of the championship banners here at Now Arena. You and Will were part of the first three-peat. What were practices like? You had a number of big guys that went hard at each other. You and Will get any dust-ups during practice?
Listen, let me tell you something. You know, these guys don't practice at the NBA level now like we used to. We were very competitive. We went at each other, and you know, it wasn't one of those things, Mark, where you know you were trying to hurt your teammate or whatever. It was like, hey, I want to make you better, you make me better. Our bench could go up against anybody in the NBA. We never feared Patrick Ewing's. We never feared any of these really, you know, good teams. When Phil would put us in there as a group, you know, we felt like we could beat anybody. You know, because we go up against the best every single day.
But you know, I'm going to make one correction on Stacey's comment. Bill was hurting people, but it wasn't intentional. Because when you had to guard Cartwright, you had to be keeping. It was like, you know, you had to play in 3D because you had to keep an eye on 2 elbows.
Let me tell you something. My rookie year, we were doing defensive drills where you slide out on the perimeter and you deny the ball, and then you play one-on-one. And I kept using my quickness on Bill to get steals, and he tells me, he says, hey, rookie, let me tell you something. You got one more time to do that. And so me being a smart butt, you know, coming from Oklahoma, feeling like I had something to prove, I said, hey, I'm just playing defense, man. It's not my fault you can't get out there and get the ball. So he said, okay, I got something for you next time you do it. So next time I did it, I'm shooting the gap, thinking I got a steal, caught an elbow right in the throat. I swear I thought I swallowed my Adam's apple. And from that day on, I learned that don't cross Bill Cartwright, ever.
Well, I mean, to add to the Bill Cartwright story, remember that one year in training camp, very first practice, you know, you bring in all those guys that are there for camp, so you got like 23 guys, and we're just doing the drill where you run backwards, and somehow Bill flips around and hits that. Remember that? Who was the guy's name? He hit him square in the nose, and he was out for 2 days.
Oh, who was that? Was it the big dude? It's like
yeah, who was that guy? And Bill looked at him like, you got in my way.
You got to get out of the way. I'm trying to get through.
That wasn't my fault.
Stacey, you and Adam have so much fun on the broadcast. When you were doing the Bill Cartwright talking to Doc Rivers, I thought your voice was going to explode after that one.
Listen, man, every time I see Doc, he just comes up to me. I don't really sound like that. I don't really sound like that, Stacey. I need you to stop, okay? You know I don't sound like that. I thought we were boys. I'm like, hey, listen, Doc.
That's when you go, Doc, just listen to yourself now.
Yes, I'm recording you right now, Doc. You're listening to the phone.
Yuki Mania, a little one-legged step back comes up short.
There's a little basketball game going on tomorrow in Norman.
Who are we playing?
Who do you think we're playing if I brought it up?
Oh, Vanderbilt?
Yes, sir.
Oh, are we gonna win? We're gonna win that game. What's Vanderbilt's record, first off?
They're pretty good this year.
We're in the top 20.
What is my record? I have been following.
Oh, come on now.
No, I went to Duke.
No, he went to Indiana.
Whoever's number
season.
one, I transferred. I got in the portal after the football season. I was at Indiana.
Arizona now,
So
right?
now I transferred to Arizona in the portal. I can get in the portal anytime I want to, Mark, so whoever's winning. It's a down year for my Sooners, but we'll compete, because the magic of all the great players that played at OU, starting with the great Wayman Tisdale, Alvin Adams, Blake Griffin, Buddy Hield, Trey Young, and yours truly. The ghost of Sooner Past will pull that out for us, and I will find you, Will, and rub it in.
I'll be at the game tomorrow. Don't worry.
Are you doing the game, or are you just going as a fan?
No, I'm just going as a fan.
Okay, when you go in there, they're going to ask you, when you walk in, they're going to tell you to get on your knees and bow down to the house that Stacey King helped build. Okay, you'll see a lot of pictures of me there.
No, I'm not going to that game. I'm talking about the Bulls game.
Oh, man, I thought you was going to Oklahoma and Norman, baby.
That's a long way to travel.
Hey, listen.
No, I'll stop by the scorer's table and collect my money.
Listen, I don't bet. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, I'm not betting anybody.
All right, hold on. I'm looking it up while we're playing the game. You guys keep talking.
This is a very interesting game here.
Yeah, but the Bulls have really been shorthanded because of the injuries at the parent team. The two-way guys have been called up, and they've been shorthanded. But Billy Donovan III has done a really nice job managing this group, even though the bench has been really short at times.
I was looking for Lachlan, but I didn't see him out here.
No, he's not here tonight.
Okay.
They're keeping him with the
this?
big club because they're short on big guys still.
Okay.
I don't know if Nick Richards will be there tomorrow. I assume all the new guys will be in uniform tomorrow.
I'm really anxious to see Rob Dillingham. I've been a big fan of his at Kentucky. I just think that, being in Minnesota, it's tough to get playing time there with the veteran Mike Conley. And then Bones Highland's been playing extremely well for them this year. So he's going to get a chance to play here. And I'm looking forward to seeing him. And Nick Richards. I like Nick Richards when he was in Charlotte. I thought, he was better than Mark Williams when they were there. And he started for Charlotte and got to Phoenix and just hadn't been able to find any traction.
E.J. Liddell barging his way through. He'll draw the foul, get a chance to shoot a free throw. Yeah, former two-way guy.
The Ohio State.
Yeah, he had 30 in the game yesterday, Stacey. He was lighting us up. Bulls have to lock down defensively. Billy Donovan was saying that they got to do something. They gave 143 points yesterday.
So the point is that on any defense is you got to stay in front of guys.
Right.
You got to stay between you and the basketball and the goal. When you open up and let these guys drive, these guys are too good even at this level.
But Stace, just so you know, Vandy's a 12.5-point favorite.
Well, you know what? Those numbers mean nothing until you throw the ball up. See me when the game's over and the Sooners win.
Well, they've lost 9 straight.
So the Bulls unable to get a shot off at the end of the first quarter.
Will, don't tell me that. You didn't need to tell me that, Will. You just ruined my night.
That's the SEC right there, buddy.
That's terrible, man. We lost 9 in a row.
Hey, Stacey, thanks for coming out and joining us here on your bobblehead night. I know the fans will love the collectible and hopefully a Windy City victory. Stacey King, our guest here on Chicago Sports Network. Back at Now Arena, the Windy City Bulls trailing the Long Island Nets 40-29. Hope you enjoyed our visit with Stacey King. So it's a little bit late, but we'll get Will's keys to the game now.
Well, how about the King, man? I appreciate him stopping by. Listen, I think the Bulls have already done a better job of this, even though the numbers may not associate that. But I was kind of going off what we saw on yesterday's game, right? First and foremost is just attack the paint, right? How do you generate open three-point shots? Attack the paint, collapse the defense. But if the defense doesn't collapse, then you can get shots at the rim. But right now they're getting outscored 22-12. They're down 10. Plenty of time to prepare. There you go. Right at the rim.
Yeah, Mohamed
good job by Mohamed. Second chance points. If you're struggling, like right now, the Windy City Bulls are only shooting 36% compared to 57% for Long Island. You got to find ways to generate second chance opportunities. So you got to get some second chance opportunities with your rebounds. And right now it's tied 6-6 Nets and Bulls, right? And the final is, and I think this has helped with, McClung and Yuki here, is shot quality. Meaning force the Nets to play a little defense. As you've seen, just like in this game, as in yesterday, Nets are really trying to push the pace. So at times, sometimes you may have to try to push, show the discipline that if you don't have it, pull it out, and then force this team to play a little defense, because it's so much harder to run when the ball goes through the net than if you get that on a defensive rebound.
Yeah, Windy City has to do a good job ratcheting up their defense. Another 40-point quarter for Long Island. They had one of those in the third quarter yesterday when they broke open the game, scoring 40 in the opening quarter tonight. Yuki Kawamura making his first start for the Windy City Bulls, his initial appearance here at Now Arena. We had a chance to talk to Yuki before the game. We will bring you part of that conversation at halftime. So make sure you stay tuned for our chat with Yuki as Mohamedou Gueye throws one down over the top.
But also, listen, you can say whatever you want. I'll be Mr. Obvious, but that's just high percentage shots, right? Nice job by Gueye, just taking it right to the rim, finishing with authority. And you see the defense, they don't want to be in that poster, so they make a business decision and get out of the way.
Yuki had no chance there as they dumped the ball into E.J. Liddell. He just laid it right over the top.
Well, Liddell he knew there was a defender in the vicinity, right? He could feel Yuki's body, but what he didn't know is who it was. But what you saw was the patience, right, by Liddell. He squares up, he sees who the defender is, so then he just shoots right over the top instead of rushing the ball. Good job by Liddell of just, being patient and reading the situation.
I'm sure Yuki would tell his teammates, thanks for nothing. You leave me to guard a power guy in the post.
But that was also, remember I mentioned the word pre-rotate?
Yeah.
Yuki was there waiting for him, but if Liddell doesn't run him over, right, Yuki's kind of set up to take the charge, but because Liddell held his ground, and then he realized who it was, he could just shoot over the top of him instead of just overreacting. But I want to give Yuki credit for pre-rotating and being there on the backside, right, regardless of who it is. He did the right thing.
Keyshawn Bryant tried to drive baseline, was shoved out of bounds. There'll be a foul against the Nets. And Keyshawn Bryant, even in a losing cause, was really impressive. He had the career-high 30 points yesterday.
Yep. Listen, this team, they found ways to score periodically, but it just wasn't enough. So this is where you can't have situations like this. Excellent job, though, by Yuki. First of all, he makes a turnover on one end, throws a risky pass, right? Doesn't quite get through. He gets deflected. But then the second thing is, what does he do? He gets back on defense. Then he keeps the defender off guard, steps to him, steps back, and they have thrown out of bounds. Great job by Yuki, right? Not giving up.
No look pass there to Mohamedou Gueye. We get a foul called against Gueye with the elbow leading in.
I don't know about that. I'd like to see that again, because did Gueye really have room to come down? Boom. I don't know. I mean,
a little bit of a flop there by Etienne.
Yeah, I think he sold it. I mean, honestly, that's a 50-50 call, right? Because Mo Gueye had his back to the basket, and by the time he squared up and planted his feet, then there was contact.
And that's one of the things with Yuki. You love the flash, you love the style, but occasionally those passes will lead to turnovers. I mean, that's the thing. When we talked to him in the interview, he said one of the most important things for him is consistency.
Right.
Because everyone loves the behind-the-back assist, the no-look pass for a dunk, but at the same time, that can make you more susceptible to turnovers, which can hurt your team.
Because it's about risk-reward, right?
Yeah.
And you want to try to take as little risk as possible, but the highest amount of reward. So occasionally, as he's talking about, you may take what's considered to be a very risky pass, but give it a chance because of the flair factor, the wow factor. And sometimes it's just, that that right there may aggravate coaches a little bit.
Yeah, you know, he was a star obviously for Japan at the Paris Olympics. He averaged about 20 points a game.
Yep.
But at this level, he's going to either make it or not make it based on his ability to run an offense and facilitate for others.
Yes.
He's not going to be a scorer at this level.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he basically, in my opinion, if you wanted to go out and watch film on how do I, at this size, make it in the NBA, go watch as much Spurs tape as possible and watch Avery Johnson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You literally, for him to be successful at this level, he has to be an extension of the coach.
What are we looking at on the screen here?
That's my wife and my dog at home watching the game.
I don't know how we got that exact shot, but well, kudos to our crew for coming up with that.
But that's proof that my wife and my dog are attached at the hip.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I'm calling it my dog. I'm surprised my wife will text me here in a minute and be like, "How dare you say that's your dog?" There's only 3 of us. You want to guess who's third on the totem pole?
The officials still talking that one over as the Bulls challenging the offensive foul call against Mohamedou Gueye.
I'm curious what they're going to come up with. They've obviously got an answer, right? All right, here we go.
The Nets, again, shooting a high percentage. They're at 55%, 15 to 27 from the field. Yesterday, they shot 58%. As now one of the game officials talking to the scorers table.
You see the pass, right? Great pass. He gets it. I mean, he's definitely outside of the circle. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Yeah, they're going to stick with the call on the floor.
But that's one of those things I think is,
foul.
I ask you, is there enough evidence to overturn the call?
I thought so.
But the thing is, the way that's defined, that's a good out for the officials, right? Well, it just wasn't enough evidence to overturn the call.
Good defense there by Caleb Grill, not jumping.
There we go.
Giving Nate Williams an easy foul. And now they throw the ball away, trying to push it up court. Trevon Scott in the paint. His little leaner, no good. Ryan Woolridge fighting for the rebound. Taken away by Scott. Now Woolridge still fighting for it.
I think Woolridge, he's looking at the official now going, were you ever planning on blowing that whistle?
Yeah.
Because I thought he got fouled by, was it Scott coming over the back? And actually, I thought Scott actually knocked him to the floor.
Yeah, if you caught yesterday's game, Will and I were really impressed with Ryan Woolridge in a starting role. He had 16 points and a career-high 11 assists. He was all over the court yesterday. Now with Yuki and Mac McClung returning, he moves to a reserve role.
But I think that's good for this, if you want to call it, second unit, because the one thing I thought he did a really good job of was, running the team, running the offense, finding the open man, setting up the defense, trying to put guys in the proper position, to succeed.
Jump ball controlled by the Nets. Scott for 3, long off the back iron. Woolridge flies in for the rebound. Windy City trailing by 11, trying to cut into that deficit. Nice spinning move in the paint. Left-handed shot rolls around and off. And here comes the Nets.
We saw a lot of that yesterday, didn't we? Point-blank
alley-oop
shots.
pass.
Woo!
Slam for E.J. Liddell. Bulls not getting back in transition defense, and Liddell running the court. Winds up with an easy 2. Bulls stuck on the perimeter right now. Mac McClung driving hard to the hoop, cut off by Liddell. 5 on the shot clock. Woolridge is going to have to get something up. Tries to step back 3. Nothing doing. The long jumper is good. Keyshawn Bryant, look what I found at the end of the shot clock.
How about that?
Malachi Smith cross court to Liddell. 3-point attempt for Etienne is no good, and McClung runs down the rebound. Bulls looking to run at every opportunity. Woolridge, step through move. The left-handed shot good, and a foul. Creative finish there for Ryan Woolridge.
I don't really know. Was that a Euro move? I'm not really sure what that was. Do we have a... We need to look in the Urban Dictionary. 1. Boop, 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 boop.
Uh-oh. Anything goes in today's NBA or G League. A lot of latitude on that Euro step.
I guess the question is, has he? I think the whistle blew, but had had he gathered the ball yet.
Right.
Because, I mean, how many times have we seen the Greek Freak take one dribble from half court?
Of course, Manu Ginobili was one of the guys that brought that move to the States. Etienne way out high for the Long Island Nets. He's the leading scorer in Long Island Nets franchise history. He had a quiet game yesterday with only 5 points. Really not looking to score tonight as well. But his teammates have really picked up the slack. They were on fire in yesterday's game with 143. Mac McClung working off the Bezhanishvili screen. They try to slip it into Georgie, and he lays it in.
By Georgie. We've seen that time and time again. You know, Georgie's doing a nice job of, not only rolling, but when he rolls, he's sealing the man and getting himself open so he can accept the pass.
Mac McClung showing he's more than just a scorer. Nice pass there as Windy City draws within 6. We welcome you back to Now Arena. Hey fans, it's your chance to win the ultimate fan experience presented by the Arboretum. Scan the QR code on your screen right now for a chance to win the Arboretum Ultimate Fan Experience, 4 courtside tickets to a Windy City game and a $100 restaurant gift card. So scan that QR code now for your chance to win.
We saw this yesterday, right? The Bulls in the first half were able to kind of just hang around. They kept, Billy did a nice job with his timeouts. They were able to, cut into deficits coming out of timeouts. So let's see if, unlike yesterday, they just couldn't get close enough and get over the top. Let's see if they can change things a little bit here the last, part of this second quarter. Maybe they don't get over the top, but let's keep the deficit at single digits.
Yeah, after giving up 40 points in the opening quarter, the Nets with only 6 so far in the second quarter as Georgie gets whistled for a foul. And that was really one of the point of emphasis. They had a long film session to go over some of the defensive mistakes they made in yesterday's game. And I'm sure that the coaching staff was discouraged to see Long Island rack up 40 in the first quarter tonight.
Yeah. Then the coaches start asking themselves, are you guys paying attention?
Free throw by Nate Williams is short, so they come up empty there. McClung frustrated he couldn't get that rebound. Malachi Smith cashes in that second chance.
Again, that's one of those, that's a mental mistake. You always box out the free throw shooter, that he can't be the one that gets that offensive rebound.
McClung cut off, hooks a pass back to Bezhanishvili. Here's Wooga Poplar stumbling into the lane, and he'll draw a foul. He'll go to the line. The foul goes against Etienne. And he can't believe it. He's coming over to his coach going, you got to review that one. He just tripped. Yeah, he kind of stepped on the foot of Javon Scott and rolled his ankle, and that's what led to him losing his balance. Now, the delay of game warning against the Nets, they were trying to decide whether to challenge the call. The coach losing his mind in front of us right now. So when you step on a guy's foot and you roll your ankle. Is that a foul on the defensive player?
I thought that was supposed to be accidental contact.
Yeah.
Especially when the defender was, I'm not saying it's not a foul. I don't know, but I also thought the defender was giving ground.
Well, it works out for the Windy City Bulls as Poplar converts the free throw for 2 points.
But that's one of the points I talked about is you know, find ways to score, right? And you can score from the free throw line.
Bezhanishvili pulls down the rebound out to Yuki. Couldn't find anything inside, so he'll reset out top. Bezhanishvili rolling to the hoop, but he couldn't spot him. McClung from way downtown, nothing but net. Nice to have Mack back, as I mentioned, averaging 27 points a game during the G League regular season. They missed his scoring punch yesterday.
Yeah, but he's already got 14 in this game, so he's well on the way to keeping his average.
Roberts cut off by the Bulls guards. Now it's Scott from the corner, and he answers the three with one of his own.
But that's where you saw the nice addition, right? They kept making the extra pass. The Bulls defense actually did a pretty good job of continuing to stay, you know, one step ahead, but eventually as you pass the ball around the horn, at some point the defense just can't keep up.
Poplar getting into the paint. Between defenders, gets the layup to go. Crafty move there by Wooga Poplar.
Boy, the Long Island coach, he's livid because he felt like Wooga traveled.
Long three missed by Scott. The rebound, though, goes to Nate Williams. Get another chance for Long Island. Tip no good. Here comes Mac McClung.
And that's what we need to see more of. McClung and these guards, and they're coming in to help the bigs to rebound offensively.
Poplar's three way long, but the rebound goes to Keyshawn Bryant, and he finishes with the left hand. A technical foul is called against the Long Island Nets coach. Mufan Udioka gets called for the technical. He's been kind of begging for that one. He's been complaining for some time.
He's been on the officials' backs for 3 or 4 plays now.
Yeah, he's blocking Stacey King's view. I thought Stacey was going to tee him up. So McClung converts the free throw, and Windy City back within one with 5.5 minutes to go in quarter number 2.
See, this is the one thing they were not able to do yesterday. You know, their runs were taking a 12-point deficit to 8 or an 8-point deficit to 4, but they were never really able to, you know, get close enough to be in striking distance. So today things are different with, you know, McClung. Their offense is actually a lot more powerful. And I like what they're doing here. You know, I didn't brought it up earlier, but now they were, you know, using a little 2-3 defense to see what Long Island has in store.
Set the screen out high. Terry Roberts had a good game yesterday, called for a travel, so the visitors kind of unraveling here in the second quarter at Now Arena.
Well, you usually follow the lead of your coach, right?
Right. The coach loses his composure. It's going to kind of infect the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Bulls with their first look at this new backcourt of Kawamura and McClung. It's been fun to watch for the paying customers here at Now Arena. 3-point attempt is good for Keyshawn Bryant. And Windy City takes the lead, their first lead.
And again, they responded to that timeout.
Yuki trying to reach in for the steal against Liddell. They dump it back into EJ. The little banker's no good. Georgie tipped the rebound, unfortunately, right to the nets, and Scott lays it in. Now it's McClung spinning into the paint. Little right-hand hook comes up short.
I think I actually got blocked from behind.
Now Smith, ball knocked away. Here comes Yuki. Bounce pass, Georgie. He gets fouled, he'll go to the line.
But that shows you right
transition.
There what the extra effort was, right? The shot gets blocked on one end from behind by McClung. Bryant for Windy City sprints back, gets the back tap, which goes to Yuki, right? Then Yuki gets it. Nice little jump off to Georgie. Gets Liddell and everybody else up into the air, takes the contact and gets the foul. Now, Georgie looks a little tired here. Catch your breath. Take your time. There you go, big fella. In through
put
the nose,
air
out
in that
through the
basketball
mouth.
at halftime. Yuki was having a tough time getting that thing to come back to him.
Well,
I'm Deflate gate going on here now, Arena. Georgie not able to cash in at the free throw line.
Well, I'm sure, just like I told you that story yesterday about Paxson, we used to play in the old Boston Garden. Used to dribble on every piece of parquet to find the dead spot.
Now there's no dead boards here at Now Arena.
Every place has dead spots.
Liddell missing on the free throw line jumper. Here comes Yuki the other way. They try to blitz him there. Liddell almost knocked him to the deck. Bounce feed into Georgie. Can't convert. Nifty pass by Kawamura, but Georgie couldn't make the little hook.
He's just got to get his head around a little quicker as far as find the target and then finish the shot.
Chaney Johnson misses inside, but we get a foul going against Kawamura. You know, I think it's an adjustment period, too, for some of Yuki's teammates.
Yeah.
He is a unique kind of a style. He'll pass at times when they're not really expecting it. Everybody's got to get used to it. They haven't had a lot of practice reps, and really, he is a unique kind of a player.
Yep. He is old school, right? As far as, and what do you mean by that? He's a pass-first kind of guy. There's not a lot of players like that in this league.
Yeah, we'll get a foul going against the Long Island Nets. That'll be their 5th foul. That'll send Mac McClung to the free throw line.
See that? The frustrations of the coach, and also now Long Island is coming out right now with some of the mistakes they're making.
Yeah, a little reach-in foul that puts them in the bonus. So 1 free throw for 2 points for Mac McClung.
I mean, McClung can get himself up to 17 points by knocking down this free throw.
It's been quite the odyssey for Mac McClung because of all the flurry of trades. He found out yesterday morning that he was going to be signed to a 2-way, had to get to Toronto, played 13 minutes for the Chicago Bulls last night against the Raptors, comes back with the team. Now he's playing big minutes here in this G League game tonight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how much longer he's up top with the big team once they kind of get settled, because as we know, they have a plethora of guards.
Malachi Smith hitting the three-pointer for the Long Island Nets. Kawamura drawing 3 defenders. They go cross court to Mohamedou Gueye. Shot clock under 10. Yuki going at Chaney Johnson, drops it off to Gueye. His shot from a tough angle hits the side of the board. Nets running. Scott lays it in and a foul, so that didn't work out well at all. He kind of got Gueye pinned behind the backboard.
Yeah, that's Gueye kind of set. Yuki kind of set Gueye up for disaster, quite honestly. Yuki did a nice job getting over past his defender, but the help defense for Long Island was there. So surprisingly, and I thought Mohamedou should have probably just stayed in the corner to be able to catch that ball and shoot the 3, but as he started to attack the basket, now he closes the gap, and he actually ran right into the defenders that were covering Yuki.
Scott completes the 3-point play. Nets back in front by 4 with 3 minutes to go in the opening half here at Now Arena. Alongside Will Perdue, I'm Mark Shanowski with you. Friday Night Hoops here at Now Arena. Hope you're enjoying it on the Chicago Sports Network and watching across the country on GLeague.com. Mohamedou Gueye kind of cut off, nothing to go. Kawamura's got to get something up. And Keyshawn Bryant got the ball as the clock was expiring. So that time, and I think Yuki saw the clock, but there was just not enough time to get the ball to his teammate.
But that's a great possession for young players, right? What you hear coaches talk about, go somewhere with the basketball. We talk about Gueye, right? Mo had the ball on the corner. He dribbled 4 or 5 times, but he went nowhere, right? Between the legs, behind the back. Never really forced the defense to move. And that took, what, 3 or 4 seconds off the shot clock.
Chaney Johnson will try the 3, comes up short. Liddell flying in, knocks it out of bounds. It'll go back to Windy City.
So to finish off on my point, if you're going to put the ball on the deck, go somewhere to put pressure on the defense. So by your aggressiveness and attacking, maybe brings help, but then it's much easier to find the open man and force the defense to rotate.
They send a double team McClung's way.
See, they're doing that on every ball screen now. They're jumping out aggressively, forcing you to go around just like that right there.
Really difficult contested 3 by Mac off the back iron. Don't want to see the Nets get a big run here to close out the opening half.
All right, let's see what happens here.
Defender on him, and Liddell, he hit McClung in the face. Here come the Bulls the other way. Caleb Grill for 3, and that's good. almost had a little dust-up between E.J. Liddell and Mac McClung.
Well, we saw what Liddell did, right?
Yeah.
When he got the ball on the post, he told everybody to clear out.
And as the play went up the other end, he kind of swung his hand and caught Mac in the face. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, Caleb Grill and Liddell get hooked up. Liddell has kind of lost his cool out there. And they're going to call, I think, offsetting technicals on Caleb Grill and E.J. Liddell.
Nobody's happy with that one.
And that goes back to the previous possession because Liddell was clearly frustrated with McClung, and the officials didn't see it the first time.
No. The fact that they called 2 technicals, basically, and the reason why they called 2 technicals is trying to get these guys to calm down. Because now that you have one, the second one you get kicked out.
Kawamura going hard to his left, spins it up, can't get it to go, and it's the former Windy City Bull David Muoka getting the rebound. Liddell for 3. He wanted to answer big time, spins around, and they're going to say that's good. I thought Muoka might have touched it on the rim.
Well, I think he went up to touch it, but good body control by him for not. I mean, he was looking at that thing like, you know, sticking his hand in the cookie jar, but luckily he didn't touch it and it rolled in.
So that'll go in the book as 3 for E.J. Liddell. Former Bull really taking out his frustrations here in the second quarter. McClung, as Liddell flops to the deck, can't get that little flip to go. Get a foul to go against the Nets.
So here you go. Nope. Great job. He never touched it. He wanted to, but he did a nice job of pulling his hands back.
So with the Bulls in the penalty, McClung will shoot 1 free throw for 2 points as Windy City wants to make sure they keep this close heading into halftime. Again,
I think they're going to challenge this.
Yeah, the Nets coaches are already walking out onto the court.
And now the officials say, well, you can't challenge it once the shooter has the basketball.
So no timeout granted. McClung will shoot 1 for 2 points. Mack converts, and Windy City back within 2. McClung now 19 points in this opening half. Chaney Johnson hit from behind by Keyshawn Bryant, and that'll be the 15th foul on Windy City. Nets will go to the free throw line. Chaney Johnson will shoot 1.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from this Windy City team. They got thumped yesterday. The energy is a lot higher. They're being aggressive. They're attacking. You know, they're playing with a little chip on their shoulder. So as you talk about now, we're looking at a 2-point game, you know, with 29.6 to go. It's kind of interesting. Even when Windy City was making some of those runs, cutting into the deficit yesterday, you never really felt like they had an honest chance with how well Long Island was playing.
Right. Yeah, they had it going on all cylinders in yesterday's game as Chaney Johnson makes the free throw to restore a 4-point lead. Final 30 seconds to the opening half. No chance for a 2-for-1 opportunity, so Yuki will just hold it out front and bleed some of the clock here. Try to leave the Nets with as little time as possible after the Bulls shoot. Grill coming up to set the screen. 6 on the shot clock for Yuki. Guarded by the much taller Chaney Johnson. He spins, fall away 15-footer.
Oh!
Yuki magic. Final seconds of the half. Smith pushing it up court, slams into Yuki. The layup rolls off, no good. And that will do it for the opening 24 minutes. Yuki and McClung providing a lot of excitement. Windy City trailing 64-62. Our score presented by Are You Really Winning? As we see Yuki doing his magic. Little dance, step back, fall away. And the Bulls are within 2. Halftime programming coming up. It is halftime at Now Arena. The Windy City Bulls trailing the Long Island Nets 64-62. Mac McClung leading the way with 19 points, coming off his debut with the Chicago Bulls last night in Toronto. Yuki Kawamura, also a two-way player for the Bulls, had 6 points in an opening half along with 6 assists. Had a chance to talk with Yuki before the game. We will bring you part 1 of that conversation after a quick timeout here on the Chicago Sports Network. It is our pleasure to be joined by Windy City Bulls guard Yuki Kawamura. Yuki, I know a lot of people are excited that you're here playing for the Windy City Bulls. Tell us how you first got interested in basketball in Japan.
I just started basketball when I was 7. I've been big MJ fan and the Chicago Bulls fan. I was study, since I was study basketball, my dad a big MJ fan. That's why I used to watch a Chicago Bulls game on the TV. So I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful for opportunity to play in Chicago. Yeah.
What do you miss most about Japan?
Honestly, I don't miss. I love American culture. I love American culture. I love Chicago. I love American people. Honestly, I'm so satisfied, But sometimes I miss my family, my friend. Sometimes Japanese, sushi, hibachi, Japanese food. I miss sometimes, but right now I'm in States, so I just want to focus, in that American life, yeah.
We love watching you play. You're so exciting. Your style. You had the great assist behind your back to Modest in the game in Toronto. That stuff just comes naturally. You're not pre-planning anything, right?
Yeah, you know, I just want to bring the energy from my passing, from my, you know, like I said, I just want to bring the energy, like from the bench, you know, like a passing, defense, hustle play, 50-50 ball, get the rebound, push the ball, you know, everything. Like I said, I just want to contribute to the team any way I can. So, yeah, you know, but I could have been, I could have done better, you know. I gotta be better every single day. Yeah.
And now you're playing for Windy City. Mac will be here today as well, Mac McClung. What kind of things do you want to accomplish at the G League level?
Oh, you know, like I said, I just wanna like consistent with my play, no matter if I'm in the NBA or G League, you know, no matter. So, like I said, I hate losing, you know. I just want to win. So, of course, Mac and me. And this is, honestly, this is like a first home game of the season for me. I've been looking forward to playing in front of Windy City fans, now arena, you know. I can't wait, you know. So, yeah, we got to win. We got to win tonight.
So you got Billy Donovan with the Chicago Bulls. You've got Billy Donovan the third with the Windy City Bulls. Did Billy Donovan tell you how great of a college player he was here in the States?
Honestly, no.
No, he was really good.
Oh, for real? Yeah, I gotta check it. Honestly.
Check out those highlights.
Yeah, I gotta check out. You know, after the game. No, right now I gotta check like after interview. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Windy City Bulls fans are going to love watching Yuki Kawamura play. Enjoyed talking so much with you.
Thank you so much.
And we will be back with the second half action here at Now Arena. Back at Now Arena, getting ready for second half action. We've had a good one so far. The Long Island Nets leading by 2 at the break. E.J. Liddell, the former Windy City Bull, leading the way with 17 points. And the Bulls have gotten good production from their backcourt. Yuki Kawamura, Mac McClung doing a nice job. McClung leading all scorers with 19 points. Yuki with 6 points and 6 assists. There you see Wooga Poplar knocking down a 3. Keyshawn Bryant who had a career-high 30 points. Doing a nice job, and Mohamedou Gueye in a starting role. He had 6 points and 4 rebounds. But the fans have come out to see Yuki, and he hit that shot at the end of the half to pull his team within 2. Will Perdue, Mark Schanowski with you courtside, and it's been fun watching the Yuki experience.
It has, but what I've really enjoyed, Mark, is watching because of the addition of Yuki, because of the addition of McClung tonight, the attitude that this team has played with, right? The aggressiveness, and they've responded. They got off to a slow start, giving up 40 points in that first quarter, but then, they picked up the intensity on both ends of the floor and held the Nets at 24 points. So we talked about how in the game yesterday, they really never had the ability to kind of push that boulder up the hill. They got down big early. They've got themselves back into this game now. Got to be really careful. This was the 40-point quarter they gave up in yesterday's game. So let's see what kind of changes each team has made going into this quarter.
Well, Billy Donovan in our talk before the game was really emphasizing defense, and I'm sure he was happy to see that 40-point quarter turn into a 24. They've done a much better job on the defensive end, and I think right now they have to be careful with the small backcourt not to get caught in those switches where the guards get buried in the paint.
Yeah, Long Island did a really good job of that early, but this team did a much better job of adapting to that in the second quarter.
McClung dropping the ball back to Georgi Bezhanishvili. Shot clock running down. Yuki bounced it off of Long Island's player's foot, and they are not able to get a shot off before the 24-second shot clock. Still a bit of bad luck there. He tried to split the double team and bounce it off a player's shoe.
Just, they got themselves in a bad position trying to run a specific play coming out of the timeout. Long Island extended their defense, cut off some of the options. Just trying to make sure that the game clock here is in line with the shot clock. So, good defensive possession that time by Long Island. Now can the Bulls answer on their defensive end of the floor?
Hate to open a quarter with a turnover, but that's what happened here for the Windy City Bulls in quarter number 3. Nate Williams tries a long 3-point shot around and out. Mohamedou Gueye controls for Windy City. They're sending double teams at McClung almost every time he works off a screen. Caleb Grill gets a look at 3. Nothing but net for Caleb Grill.
Nice job by Caleb. Comes off the down screen, gets himself into position to catch and shoot. Quick release.
Grill moved into the starting lineup during the recent road trip where the Bulls went 4-2 on an extended swing, and Billy Donovan has a lot of confidence, likes to get that extra shooting into the lineup. And we'll get a foul called against Windy City. It's going to go against Mac McClung.
I think Liddell has taken, and this is one of the things with McClung, right? He just signed a 2-way, so now he's got a mark on his back. So these guys are looking, oh, this guy got a 2-way? Well, let me go at this 2-way guy to show people what I can do. I deserve a 2-way.
Yeah, everyone's super competitive at this level as Liddell. It's a little jump hook. Continuing his strong offensive showing in his return to Hoffman Estates. 30 points yesterday, now has 19 tonight. Shot off the back iron, no good. We get a foul call against the Nets. Referee said keep it right here. Trying to hold off Georgi Bezhanishvili.
Well, I'd like to know, listen, how did he make that call? Because basically it looked like those two were dancing together. I guess he had
May I have this dance, Georgie?
I guess they had to determine who was the lead, who had the lead. See, look at them. They're both holding each other, so you take your pick on that one.
Well, Scott, a little bit undersized for a center. They list him at 6'8". Georgie, the sweeping hook, looking like Georgie Mikan. On the run, Nate Williams with the finish.
But did you see what Nate did there at the end? Because Gueye was getting his feet right to try to go up and block that shot, but he jumped into Mohamedou's chest, which then prevented him to getting his hands up, and he did a nice job of then just backing off and not committing the foul.
And Gueye that time just shoved Malachi Smith out of the way, and that's an easy call for the official. Offensive foul.
But I think that was frustration because of what he wasn't able to do on the other end. And he wanted to get himself moving and get some momentum towards the basket. Now, the play, he probably sold it, but, he put two hands in his back. So that's what the official sees.
As Nate Williams hits the running hook, and that's 4 fouls now on Mohamedou Gueye. As we mentioned, only 9 players in uniform for Windy City, so they got to be careful that they don't run out. Keyshawn Bryant will probably check back in pretty soon as Georgie gets the rebound, couldn't put it back.
Come on,
Goes
Georgie.
up with the left hand, misses again. He's got to be super frustrated.
Yeah,
McClung's layup rolled off, and Georgie missed on 2 putback attempts. And Etienne scores and a foul. So Windy City had edged in front by 1, and now a quick run, 8-0 run by the Long Island Nets.
But everything they've run, Mark, has been into the paint, off of some screen action, getting switches so they can take advantage of the smaller guards that Windy City puts out there. And that's the biggest thing when you go with this lineup of Yuki and McClung and Grill. You know, look, even if they're standing here for the free throws, when you look at EJ, you look at these guys, they're just taller, and they're taking advantage of their length. Same exact thing they did in yesterday's game, right?
The foul went against Kawamura. That's his 3rd. And as we expected, Billy Donovan went down the bench and called for Keyshawn Bryant. Mo Gueye going to the bench with those 4 personal fouls.
You know, we're talking about what's going on, right? That's 9 quick points for Long Island all of a sudden.
Kawamura tries the 3, gets knocked to the deck, and that's going to be a foul going against Nate Williams. Very crafty by Kawamura. Gave him the old Reggie Miller leg extended and then flopped to the ground. Almost a chance for a 4-point play for Kawamura. So he'll shoot 1, as we told you earlier. Every shooting foul, just 1 attempt. If Yuki makes it, it'll be 3 points for the Bulls. And he converts, which some much needed points there after that 9-0 run by the Nets.
Just a mistake by Long Island. Yuki does a nice job of just stepping up, focusing on the shot, gets the contact, sells a little bit, gets a call from the official. Great hands that time by Yuki.
Yeah, Smith had intentions of backing down the smaller defender, and he wound up bouncing the ball off his leg.
Well, Yuki got beat, but that's what we talk about never giving up on a play, right? So he kept stuck to Smith's hip and was able to poke it away from the backside.
McClung calling for a screen. Instead, he goes the other way, flying to the hoop and lays it in. No help defense there for the Nets.
And Smith looks around because he thought that there was, or Scott, he thought there was going to be help. And once he got past on that left side, there was no help.
3-point attempt is good for Tyson Etienne. Yeah, no shot blocker in there for the Nets. Their big center getting the night off. Now here comes Mac McClung dishing back to Kawamura. Look at 3. Yuki Mania hitting the 3 balls. Kawamura, who averaged 20 points a game during the Paris Olympics, so he can score. Leaning in, Smith will draw the foul from Mac McClung.
Well, the Bulls offense starting to get a little rhythm now as far as the penetration by McClung and then finding the open man. That tells you how much attention that Mac McClung attracts when he has the basketball.
It's only the 2nd foul against Mac McClung. Malachi Smith will shoot 1. Chance for 2 points for the Nets. And he converts. Bulls have to be careful to avoid foul trouble with their limited roster right now. Etienne comes out to challenge Kawamura. A little crossover spin. Tries to get him up in the air. Yuki can't get that little floater to go, and the rebound pulled down by E.J. Liddell. Etienne going at the smaller Kawamura. Now here comes Williams. Georgie tried to block it from behind. A look for 3 from Etienne is short, and Caleb Grill controls the rebound for Windy City. McClung will stop and go dribble back to Grill. A look at 3. Off the front iron, no good. Rebound controlled by Liddell.
Or you really only have Georgie as the only player for the Bulls going to the offensive glass.
Liddell banging it into Keyshawn Bryant. Wild shot, no good. Georgie gets the rebound. Kawamura looking to run. Behind the back to Georgie. Blocked, though, by Liddell.
I think Georgie was surprised by that pass.
And another foul on McClung. That'll be number 3 against Mac, as they had no chance to block the shot. Then he wound up nudging him out of bounds.
Look at all this behind the back. Giorgi never really had any lift. That's why I think he got surprised by that. And just, you've seen this a couple times by Long Island, not even putting the ball on the deck. Just 1-2. Next thing you know, they're at the rim and the defense can't react.
Yeah, it was like a volleyball spike by Liddell. He could have blocked that with his elbow. Nate Williams gets that free throw to roll around and in, and Williams has come alive on the offensive end here in the third quarter. He now has 14 points for the evening. Grill setting the screen out front. Now he rolls to the hoop. Good work by Caleb Grill.
A good job by Grill, though. Normally he's the type of guy you see pop out, but he reads that the double team, so he floats to the basket and gets a nice pass, is able to score off the glass.
Etienne out front. He's gotten more offensive minded. He drains the three ball. Tyson Etienne, the franchise leader in total points. He's getting it going as well here in the third quarter. McClung into the paint. Left-handed spinning shot is good and a foul. Very creative finish there by Mac McClung. A chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Well, McClung does an excellent job of using Giorgi at half court to knock off his defender. And then when he gets going downhill and one-on-one, he's hard to stop.
We'll get a timeout by the Windy City Bulls. They're hanging in there, down by 6 here in the third quarter at Now Arena. Back at Now Arena, it is Chicago Bulls night. We have the 6 championship trophies here, along with a couple of the championship banners. Fans enjoying getting a chance to have their photo taken. And fans can also download the Chicago Sports Network app. You can stream live Chicago Bulls, Blackhawks, White Sox, and Windy City Bulls games and stay up to date on all your favorite Chicago sports teams. Download the CHSN app. Start your 7-day free trial today. Chicago Sports Network, your home stream advantage. We see that young fan enjoying Yuki Kawamura, the Windy City Bulls, putting on a show tonight.
You see right there that hat, just some of the swag that is constantly thrown into the stands.
That's
here.
Right. No one walks away empty-handed from a Windy City Bulls game. It's a great family-friendly experience.
They really do a good job here at Now Arena as far as just trying to let everybody go home with something. Memories, swag, a good time.
Offensive foul on the screen called against the Long Island Nets, so the Bulls got a chance to chip away at that deficit. Unfortunately, McClung missed the free throw, so they leave 2 points at the line that time. Bezhanishvili out front. We joke with Stacy about the fact that Giorgi's leading the G League in three-point shooting at 60%, but of course on a very low volume. It's funny though, I mean, we've talked about in the past that big guys never shot threes, and now it's almost a required skill.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You got to be able to be a big guy that can stretch out the defense.
And that's one of the reasons why the Boston Celtics reached out to get Nikola Vucevic. They wanted a guy who could space the floor, create some driving lanes for Jaylen Brown and Derek White and some of their other players.
Woogie.
Poplar long on the three-point attempt. Terry Roberts snaking his way into the paint. Etienne, who's heated up in the third quarter, he gets the 3-ball to go.
Boy, he is locked and loaded now with that 3-point shot.
After a very quiet first half, Tyson Etienne now has 12. All that coming here in the third quarter. Mack, a long three trying to answer, no good. Roberts being defended by Ryan Woolridge, who's just checked into the game. Bulls getting Kawamura a rest. 3-pointers good for Etienne.
He's now 4 of 7 from behind the arc. I think he's 3 for 3 here in this second
he's really
half.
heated up. He only had 5 points yesterday. He came into Hoffman Estates averaging 17 a game and really didn't seem that involved in the offense yesterday, but he senses his team needs him.
They need him today. So he's answered the call.
McClung, a little step through. Hook pass to Keyshawn Bryant. Shot clock at 3. McClung has to get one up. Short on the 3-point attempt.
That's also a good job by McClung. He ended up out of bounds, but he got himself back into the play.
Muoka missing a little jump hook. Bulls need to get something going. Find themselves now down by 12. Keyshawn Bryant driving into the paint. He's going to get fouled by Chaney Johnson. He'll go to the line. They call that on Etienne instead on the reach-in.
Good job by Bryant, though. He comes off the screen hard. Yep.
That's 4 on Etienne. Yeah, be a good way to get him out of the game. He's really been hurting the Bulls with his 3-point shooting here in the second half. Etienne didn't score in the opening 24 minutes, and he has caught fire here in the third quarter. I wonder if one of the coaches had a talking to him. He had 5 points total yesterday, nothing in the first half. He's a different player here in the second.
Yeah, I think they've actually been running a little bit of offense for him.
Yeah. Smith, a little blow by, drops it to Muoka, blows the layup, and here come the Bulls. Keyshawn Bryant tries to go through Chaney Johnson, and he did travel. Yep. That time the defender guessed right. He tried to cross over, move on.
That's kind of one of the things with that, right? You gotta, and that's where scouting comes into play, quite honestly. You have a tendency to know, if you watch enough film, what a guy's tendencies are and what his strengths are, what he likes to go to.
Well, Keyshawn Bryant, left-handed player. He likes to go left, and that time the defender just guessed right and stopped him.
Oh, heat check.
Chaney Johnson gets the offensive rebound. He's fouled on the putback. He'll go to the line.
But see, this is where we talked about this during that little stretch early in the second quarter where they got it out to like, what, 11 or 12? 13 was the biggest lead in that first half. You just have some length like Chaney Johnson. You have Grill trying to block him out. You also have the length of some of these other guards that they have are just bigger than the Bulls. So they're trying to collapse these guys up underneath the rim, right? They're doing a good job. Smith, number 18.
Yep.
Right. E.J. Liddell has been very aggressive as far as what he's been able to do on the boards. So it's a tough position.
Bezhanishvili not able to get all the way to the rim. They dish it back to Wooga Poplar. Shot blocked from behind. It bounced it into Mac McClung, and the 3-time slam dunk champion soars in to flush that with 2 hands.
But a good job, though. He was standing out of the 3-point line waving his hands. Yeah, he was open, but they couldn't get it to him, so then he cuts to the basket, puts himself in position to accept the pass.
Chaney Johnson bangs into Caleb Grill. He goes to the deck, but didn't have defensive position there. He gets called for the foul.
Yeah, but the officials probably did the Bulls a favor there by calling that foul. Because when Caleb stumbled and went to the ground because of the contact, there was nobody else on that side of the floor to cover for him.
There you see Grill tried to get into position to take a charge, but clearly was not, so he gets called for the foul. Johnson will shoot 1 for 2 points. And we should point out again, the Bulls are missing one of their top offensive weapons, Kevin Knox, who's been on fire lately, had 33 points yesterday, averaging 25 points a game during the regular season, is out. He has some Achilles soreness. He's been playing big minutes with the two-way guys being gone, and they really missed Kevin Knox's production tonight, Will.
Right, when he did a great job in that game, and as you talked about on that road trip where they went 4-2, he played exceptional.
Wild pass unable to control by Chaney Johnson. Bulls looking to attack the other way. Poplar all the way to the rim.
Looks off the defender who thinks he's going to make the pass. Steps out of the way, is able to finish with the easy left hand off the glass.
And we get a reach-in foul on Poplar, and with the Bulls over the foul limit, that will send the Nets to the free throw line. And there's a look at Kevin Knox, not in uniform tonight. Hopefully we get him back as the homestand will continue next Wednesday. Windy City with some work to do, trailing by 8 here on the Chicago Sports Network. We welcome you back to Now Arena as you see Gus T. Bull entertaining the crowd here on a Friday evening in Now Arena. Windy City has some work to do. And we're able to get back and edge in front, but the shooting of Tyson Etienne has allowed the Long Island Nets to extend as you see a Michael Jordan Olympics jersey.
What did he wear in the Olympics? 8? Is that right?
9.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's right. It's the opening night of the Winter Olympics.
Right.
Opening ceremonies. How about Lindsey Vaughn's going to ski with a torn ACL?
It's amazing. The courage that she has is just off the charts.
Cut me, Nick. Cut me.
Well, she did her practice run and got through it okay, so
Yeah.
she's going to compete. Roberts shooting 1 for 2 points, and he gets the friendly roll.
Just takes one solid run, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. That's where we need to kind of cut into this deficit here in these last 2.5 minutes of this third period.
Yuki for 3, way short, but Lahat Chun right there, that'll be goaltending against the Nets. We remember David Mooka blocking a lot of shots for the Windy City Bulls, but he does have a tendency to goaltend at times.
Well, sometimes you put that up there, it's just, it's hard not to do that, right? Especially as a big man.
And if you're right next to the rim, you don't need a whole lot of arc, so it's almost always going to be a goaltend. Pass inside to Liddell, and he's able to just stuff it in.
Great backdoor cut, though, by Liddell. The defender turns the wrong way. He cuts backdoor. He's able to come up and under and finish over the defender.
Caleb Grill about 3 feet behind the line. Needed to get up a little bit closer as he comes up short. Goes out of bounds. It'll go back to the Nets.
I think that was the draft created by when Stacey King was leaving the building.
It's great to have Stacey here. It is the Stacey King talking bobblehead night. Some of the fans, first 1,500, got a chance to walk away with that keepsake. They'll enjoy that. So yeah, Stacey was here for the first half, but he had his limousine running out front and heading for home. He's got a game to call tomorrow night as the Chicago Bulls will host Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets tomorrow night. That'll be a 7 o'clock start.
Got to save his
Chicago
voice.
Sports Network.
I'm not sure he appreciated me putting him on the spot about what are the sayings that they use.
He didn't know there was going to be a test.
So, tell you what, Yuki did. I'm going to give Yuki a lot of credit. He sold that big time. He got the call from the official. And listen, I got to give Liddell credit, right? He just kept his mouth shut and smiled, didn't complain to the officials, and just, you know. Now, if that happens again, he might have something else to say, but good job on his part.
Kawamura having a nice game in his first start with the Windy City Bulls. 14 points, 7 assists. And E.J. Liddell, another big night against his former team. Liddell hits the corner three.
Well, he's starting to heat up now.
Man.
We talked about, like, at halftime, I didn't think he played that well because just the 30 points he had last night was easy. Unfortunate turnover there.
Yeah, another Bulls turnover. They pass it inside. Liddell a chance to add to his total as he lays it in. E.J. Liddell now 26 points, 7 rebounds, a couple assists.
Well, he saw Gay there, so he just kind of, he kept, I mean, he wasn't even looking at the basket. He looked like he was looking at us, but he was looking at Gay the whole time. Nice little job with the pump fakes. Finally gets him to jump and then knocks down the shot.
Mohamedou Gay gets that side spin three to go from the corner. You know, E.J. Liddell's one of the most even-tempered guys normally. You know, when you talk to him, nicest guy in the world, but I'm sure he's sending a message to his former team. Hey, you had me.
Yeah, I was, and I will honestly say, but he also was injured while he was here too.
Yeah.
But I was very disappointed that they didn't keep him and give him an honest chance. Because I thought that he should have gotten some run with the big club, but it just didn't pan out that way. So I'm glad to see that he's moved on to another team and is having success.
And speaking of former Windy City Bulls, that was David Muoka just banging into Chun. He threw down a dunk and then kind of roared at the Windy City bench again, saying, how do you like me now? Yuki trying to get between a couple of defenders. Good hustle by Chun to get on the floor, prevent the turnover. Shot clock still running, though, and it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. Mohamedou Gay, I think, thought that the shot clock was reset,
yeah,
but there was never
about being an awareness,
change of
right?
possession. Yeah,
and that's where just it's a mental mistake on his part. But that's one of the great things about with the shot clock being on both ends, right? With the game clock, you don't have to turn around and look at the basket. You can just look up because he was facing the other direction. You can just look up, see what it says, and if necessary, or in some guy's case, make sure you pass it to the other guy so you don't get the turnover.
Final seconds in quarter number 3. They dump it into Muoka. Chaney Johnson for 3 off the front iron, no good. So Windy City might have dodged one there as Johnson misses the three-point attempt, but still a very productive third quarter for the Long Island Nets as they extend their 2-point lead to 12, 102-90. Our score presented by Are You Really Winning? As you take a look at the in-between action at Now Arena, Windy City Bulls group experiences are the perfect way to take in a game with family, friends, or coworkers. Perfect for groups of 10 or more. Celebrate a birthday, showcase your dance squad, or take the court with your basketball team at any home game this season. Visit WindyCityBulls.com for more information. Before yesterday's game, well, we saw some teachers playing some basketball. We're worried about injuries out there.
I wonder how they're feeling today.
Maybe a little bit sore. But it's a great opportunity to get a chance with your friends to run the court on a regulation-sized court.
Yep. I think it's also a good lesson for students, because we had 9,000 kids here yesterday, about it's okay to be vulnerable, right?
Sure. Start of the fourth quarter, Windy City not able to get that defensive rebound. On the floor, again, dug out by the visitors. Williams misses. Mooka can't get it to go. Keyshawn Bryant knocked to the deck, and we're going to get a foul called. That's going to go against the Windy City Bulls. And
wow, the Bulls could not grasp that basketball that time. Liddell got hit in the left hand.
Billy Donovan kind of hanging his head and just very disappointed that his group could not get that defensive rebound. You hate to see multiple shot opportunities inside.
Well, that's, you know, they were dodging shots left and right, and eventually they get the call. So if he makes this free throw, you're going to get the 2 points. And that's technically a 4-point turnaround, because the 2 that you give up and the 2 that you possibly, or maybe a 5-point turnaround, the 2 you could have had at the other end with an offensive possession.
That's the biggest lead of the night now for the Long Island Nets at 14, as E.J. Liddell continues to be a one-man wrecking crew. He's got 28 points, 9 rebounds. Bulls trying to get something going. Their offense is kind of stagnated here in the second half. Keyshawn Bryant, who had a 30-point game in the early Education Day contest yesterday, hasn't been able to get it going today. Good pass.
Oh.
Woolridge tried to go in and stuff it, but didn't get enough lift.
But he did a nice job of sticking with it.
Shot from the corner by Williams. It's the top of the backboard. And there's that man, E.J. Liddell, the former Bulls two-way player. And he's going to have his second consecutive 30-point game as he gets the offensive rebound, put back, and he'll get a free throw.
This is called discarding the defender. He catches that, gets that. I mean, it's such an awkward rebound because it goes off the top of the backboard, right? So he goes up and grabs it. He's got Bryant wrapped around him, so he just discards him with the right elbow and then just goes up and finishes with the left hand.
You know, the thing about E.J. Liddell, we talked about it during yesterday's game. He played a lot of center at Ohio State, but he only stands 6'5" or 6'6". He plays like a power forward, but he's got the body of a two-guard or a small forward. Do you think that's what's kept him from getting into an NBA rotation?
I think so, but what we've seen here with Long Island is he's really worked on his perimeter game. His ability to put the ball on the deck, right? Attack smaller players, get to the rim, finish, and then you see plays like that, right? Just going up there with the big guys, getting the rebound for second chance opportunities, 2 straight plays. So I think he's kind of done a nice job of really working on his game, becoming a more well-rounded player.
Kawamura back in the game for the Windy City Bulls. Kicks it out to Georgie. He gets a 3 to go again. The leading three-point shooter in the G League converts one more time.
Well, he helps his percentage right there.
He sure did. Roberts barging in, sensing that height advantage over the 5'7" Kawamura. Loses the ball out of bounds, and they're going to say stay here, keep it with the Nets.
Now, let's be very clear here on this, and I think once the officials get together, they'll talk about this.
There's a look at the Steph Curry of the G League, Georgie Bezhanishvili, shooting over 60% now on three-pointers. And they're going to say they don't know who knocked it out of bounds. They'll jump at center court. The 3 officials huddled and couldn't decide who touched it last. So the 2 centers will jump in midcourt. Georgie kind of stole that one. And Milwaukee got an elbow in the face for his problem. Yuki falling to the deck as he hits the 3-pointer. Looking at the official, he wanted a 4-point play.
Nice job by Yuki.
Yuki showing that he's more than just a flashy passer. He's been hitting that 3-point shot, closing in on 20 points for the game.
Now he gets called for a foul from behind the arc.
Yeah, he's done a good job shooting the ball today. Kawamura with 17 points, 9 assists. He gets called for a foul there. As you see Terry Roberts at the free throw line, you know, he's not a big guy himself, but whenever you see Kawamura, you're going to take him to the hoop.
Yeah. Stacy likes to say, mouse in the house.
Nets have done a really good job of converting at the free throw line. They're cashing in at over 90% today, and that's a big reason why they're up here by 12 points. Poplar, a strong drive to the hoop. He thought about trying to dunk it. Instead, he kind of hung in the air, finished with the left hand. Good hang time.
I thought he was going to crank that thing back with the right hand, and then kind of hung in the air for a second, flipped it over to the left hand, and was able to finish with the floater.
Wild shot, no good by Roberts. Kawamura looking to push. Stop and go against Liddell. Over the top of EJ. Couldn't get it to go off the glass. Good move by Kawamura, just couldn't get the finish.
Boy, we've seen a lot of shots missed point blank at the rim today. Kind of similar to what we saw yesterday with the Windy City.
Weak side corner, Couture hits a three. He didn't play much at all, just got in at the end of the bench. Hunter Couture knocks down to three, and Mohamedou Gueye flying in for the jam.
I think EJ's asking to come out of the game. The way he looked at the bench is a little awkward.
Muoka holding the ball way out high. Shot clock winding down under 10. Little step through move there, no good. Ball batted around. Wooga Poplar knocked to the deck, and that's going to go as a foul against the Long Island Nets. It goes against Hunter Couture. Poplar showed some good hustle trying to get that loose ball, wanted to advance it up court. Gets tripped by the defenders, so it goes to the foul against the Nets. It's only their first.
Wooga's having a nice positive impact on this game today.
So the Bulls starting backcourt now back in the game with Mac McClung and Yuki Kawamura. Yuki shot fake, changes direction, drops it back to Georgie. How about another three? Oh, it looked good from here, but it hit the back iron and caromed off. And here comes Malachi Smith and the Long Island Nets trying to increase their advantage. Stop pop hits the 14-footer.
Once you get the big man, you attack a big man, get him start to backpedal. He can't stop in order to try to contest that shot.
Yuki really trying to get his offense going. He kind of pushed off on the defender, hit the step back shot from about 16 feet. Kawamura now at 19. Putting on quite a show in his now arena debut as a starting guard for the Windy City Bulls. Chaney Johnson rattles one in from 15 feet.
Well, I tell you what, the fans between Yuki and McClung have got quite the show in this game today.
Yeah, we're at the midway point of the regular season. Windy City with a record of 8-8. We'll see a lot of home games coming up. They've got 5 more home games in the month of February, and we'll see a lot of this backcourt of McClung and Kawamura. Yuki drawing the foul. He'll go to the line. Foul goes against Chaney Johnson. You know, Yuki almost seeks out that opportunity to split the double team.
Yep.
And he's been able to get to the free throw line doing that. And when he was playing for Team Japan, he was the guy they had to count on to score at the Olympics in Paris. But since he's joined the NBA, he knows that that's not his role. Tonight, I think he senses with Knox out, they need somebody else to score besides McClung.
Well, he stepped up and done a nice job, as you talked about earlier. Right? Now got himself a double-double with 21 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. So, you know, he's done his job.
Ball knocked out of bounds, battle for the loose ball. It's going to go to the Windy City Bulls. Malachi Smith missing, and the Nets fighting for the rebound. Knocked at OB. 7:07 left to go. Windy City with plenty of time to make a run, trailing by 11. Georgie coming up to set the screen for Kawamura. Back to Georgie. Little flop there by Chaney Johnson. And he's going to get whistled for the foul. That'll send Georgie to the line. Foul number 2 against Johnson. We're going to get a timeout on the floor. Windy City down by 11, hoping to make a late run here at Now Arena. Looks like the Nets are going to challenge that last call. We'll be back with the outcome. As we look at the game officials, the Nets decided to challenge that foul call. They're still looking at the replays. And during the quarter break, Gus T. Bull entertaining the fans as he hit that over-the-head half-court shot. It was early, too. One of his first attempts, he was able to knock it down.
The second one?
Yeah. Gus's percentage, he's no Georgi Bezhanishvili, but he's pretty darn good from half court.
And I'm sure he's not Benny either, but see, I don't know. I was talking to you about it. I think he comes in, he gets his feet set, right? Boom. But
he's still moving.
But Georgie had already picked up his dribble, right? So he's already into a shooting motion, and technically, once you get into the shooting motion, that should be a block, right?
Well, we'll see what the officials decide. They had a long conversation before they went to the monitor. Now they've looked at the replays, and we'll see what the determination is. Obviously, the Bulls need this one to go their way, trailing by 11, 6:56 to go. Yeah, the call's going to stand, a blocking foul against the Long Island Nets. So Bezhanishvili will get a chance to go to the free throw line.
Could be a situation that could be a turning point for this game as far as with the Windy City Bulls, right? Just because of the fact that Long Island wanted to challenge, possibly turn this call around. So Georgie's got to step up and make this free throw.
Georgie 1 for 2 at the line so far tonight.
Oops.
Oh, rounded out. Leafs 2 points there. Battle for the loose ball. Last touch by Poplar. It's going to go back to the Nets.
Love the fight, though. Georgie a little frustrated he missed that free throw. But now you're also seeing you're seeing Windy City step up, probably a little full court pressure, trying to take some time off that shot clock so that when Long Island gets the ball across half court, they have fewer opportunities to run their offense.
Bezhanishvili with 12 points, 8 rebounds, but he's left 4 points at the free throw line. Here comes Kawamura on the run. Bangs into Etienne, and Etienne, that'll be his 5th foul as Yuki goes splashing to the floor, and he'll shoot 1 free throw for 2 points.
Watch him just throw his body into NTA. Look at that. Yep.
When you're small, you got to come up with creative ways to draw those fouls.
He understands the words sacrifice your body.
Yuki converting. Bulls cut the lead under double digits. Plenty of time for the home team here in Now Arena, and they've got that 5 fouls on Etienne. They would love to see him disqualified for 6. Spinning shot by Malachi Smith. Really nice move there. He had a huge game yesterday with 17 points and a career-high 15 assists. Now McClung going at Smith on the other end. He heard the whistle, just threw it up. Are they going to give him that?
Yeah, they are.
Continuation. Give the bucket to McClung and a foul. Chance for a 3-point play.
Look at it. He extends the ball, rips his hands up. The defender knew he fouled him because you see when he pulls his hands back, right? So he knew he made a mistake. And McClung was actually looking to make that pass to the player that was down on the right baseline. When he heard the whistle, he just threw it up at the basket and got it to go in.
Yeah, good recognition by Mack. Once he heard the whistle, no sense passing it. Get it up at the rim, and now he's over his average with 28 points.
They cut it to cut it to 8.
Chaney Johnson working against Bezhanishvili. Jump hook short. He's begging for a foul there, and Billy Donovan wants a timeout. Obviously saw something there that he wants to communicate to his team as they cut the deficit down to 8 with 6:02 to go. Windy City with a chance to come back here in the closing minutes. They're mounting a late rally on a Friday night. You're watching G League basketball on Chicago Sports Network. Well, we told you about Gus T. Bull making that half-court shot that I know the viewers are saying, hey, I want to see it. Well, there it is. On his second attempt, Gus T. Bull carrying the Olympic flame.
I was about to say, wait a minute. Nicely done.
Well, I think that mascot costume may be flammable, so we couldn't give him a real flame.
Got to be careful there.
Nice job by Gus as he knocks in the shot, and he knows how to celebrate. Having a good time there, entertaining the crowd here at Now Arena. And the Windy City Bulls trying to entertain the fans with a come-from-behind victory. They've got the ball down by 8. The Nets had led in this game by as many as 16. McClung strong to the hoop. He was cut off to Mohamedou Gay. Bezhanishvili fighting for the loose ball. He pushed off, though. He get called for the foul. Not a shooting foul. Long Island will inbound the ball.
Well, it was him and Scott battling for the rebound. I think they were the two that were dancing together earlier.
Yeah, that's right.
So in the first half, they called the foul on Scott. So this time they felt it was only fair to call the foul on Georgie.
Yeah, that'd have been huge if Gay could have hit that shot from the corner. Still plenty of time. Etienne going strong to the hoop. The scoop shot no good, but Yuki's going to get called for the foul, and he's got some foul issues now.
Has there been any player that's agreed with the whistle tonight?
It's five fouls on Kawamura.
I mean, I agree with Yuki on that play right there, but the one thing you also have to remind Yuki of is you got that same exact call on the other end earlier.
Right.
So turnabout's fair play.
Yeah, Etienne was kind of riding the defender, and Yuki tried to slap down and knock it away, and a lot of times that's a trigger for the official to call a foul.
Yep. So they're saying this is Long Island ball, huh?
Yeah, and
Wait a minute, I think they're returning the call.
Mac McClung signaled over to Billy that we need to
they want a challenge.
We need to challenge that call as a couple of players going for the loose ball. And McClung thought he was successful in knocking it off the Long Island Nets player, but I'm not sure his foot was.
The one thing is, I said the official tried to say that McClung's foot stepped on the end line.
He may have already been out of bounds before.
But I don't know if he did. I don't know if it did or not.
Well, they'll take another long look at this one, and you get 2 challenges in the G League, and they figured at this point it was a good time with an 8-point deficit. You want to get that extra possession. If that had been a first quarter play, I don't think they would have bothered.
No, I think they would have left it alone. But here you see it right here, right? So you look, where's McClung's last step? His last step is in bounds. So I think this call is going to be reversed, Mark, because
he did spin it off the back of the Long Island Nets player. The question is, did his right foot land before he was able to take his hand off the ball?
But the way the official pointed to the ground, like he was talking about McClung's foot stepped on the end line. The left foot stepped on the end line, right?
Yeah, this one is really close. We'll see if they find enough there to overturn that call. Windy City obviously needs to come up with another possession here, trailing by 8. And McClung was quick to indicate to Billy Donovan he thought that he still was in the air when he bounced the ball off the Long Island Nets defender.
And I agree with that part.
So now the officials are huddling up. We'll see what they decide. Pretty close, though. I'm not sure if they're going to overturn the call on the floor, which was Nets basketball.
So you're saying it's 50-50.
I guess that's what I'm saying, yeah.
And I'm saying that they should overturn the call.
Well, the problem is when he put the ball against the Nets defender, he had his hand underneath the ball, so it took him a while to get his hand out from under it. I think it's going to stay with the Nets. Gus T. Bull having some fun with the fans here.
Well, I apologize. You were correct, sir.
Well, it was definitely, could have gone either way. And because they called it on the floor, Nets basketball, it was unlikely they're going to reverse that.
Kind of like when the dealer has an ace showing, you should take a hit every time.
So 14 on the shot clock. Windy City needs to lock down here defensively as they try to come back after dropping that game by 20 yesterday. Very competitive game tonight. And get another foul. It's going to go against the Bulls.
Is this against Georgie?
We'll see who the foul is going to go against. Go against Poplar.
I saw bodies flying left and right. I don't see Wooga really complaining very much.
Both teams are over the foul limit now for quarter number 4, so it's going to be free throws on any foul, and Nate Williams able to convert, extend the lead back to 10.
They take a quick shot on the inbounds. You have a chance to get an opportunity for a rebound. Unfortunately, you commit a foul, and they knock down the free throw.
Kawamura, the long step back 3 comes up short, knocked out of bounds by Etienne. It'll stay with Windy City.
Look at Georgie laughing. Etienne, I got to give him credit. He was in there battling with Georgie, trying to keep Georgie from getting the ball, but you know, that's where you depend on your teammates to step up and pick it up for you.
And this is where the Bulls are really missing Kevin Knox, because they're really loading up against Mac McClung, and they forced Kawamura into a shooting role, and this time they couldn't even get a shot clock off before the 24-second shot clock.
I think that's the third time this game that's happened for Windy City.
Well, you can see what the Nets' defensive strategy is. They're not going to let McClung get free off of any screen, and they're forcing Yuki to be a scorer.
Yep. So that's where now I think you got to put the ball back in Yuki's hand.
I mean, right now the Bulls have Bezhanishvili and Mohamedou Gueye. Neither of them are offensive-minded type players.
Yep.
Poplar's a good driver and slasher in the open court, but they don't have anybody else who can create their own shot.
So we're talking about McClung coming off screens. They're looking to double. Now this is where I think you got to put the ball in Yuki's hands. Let him penetrate and you know.
At the end, just fouled out.
Whoa, how about that? So and let McClung come off some double screens on the opposite side so he can get open without the basketball, right? The one thing he's now having trouble doing is getting open with the basketball, because anytime he does have it, they look to double.
Malachi Smith at 6'3", guarding the 5'7" Kawamura. Dishes it back to Mohamedou Gueye. That's some good execution that time. Exactly what you're talking about.
Yep. Open it up to paint, allow Yuki to penetrate, then find the open man, but that time Gueye does a nice job. He puts himself in a position to where Yuki can still see him as he's cutting, and he picks up the pass.
Smith trying to overpower Kawamura. Yuki forces the turnover. McClung trying to split 2 defenders, and it's going to be a foul against the Nets, sending Mac to the line. Tries to barge through 2 of them here. I was afraid they might call an offensive foul, but he gets tripped up by Chaney Johnson, and that's going to send McClung to the line. It worked out pretty well. You stopped the clock and a chance to add 2 points.
Yep.
4:32 to go. Windy City trailing by 8. McClung can cut that to 6 with the free throw here.
Doesn't it feel like they've been stuck on this 8-point barrier for a while?
It's been tough to get a little bit closer, and the Nets are going to call a timeout here. So McClung will have to wait to shoot the free throw. Talked a lot about E.J. Liddell. He was signed to a 2-way contract by the Chicago Bulls a year and a half ago, and he played on that 2-way deal. He played a lot of games here with the Windy City Bulls. He had 30 points in yesterday afternoon's game. He has another 30 points tonight, and he is showing his entire skill set. Really loving his homecoming here, playing in Now Arena. He's used to shooting at these rims, and it's obviously paying off for E.J. Liddell.
Yeah, but he's also quietly picked up 10 rebounds and 2 assists and 2 blocks. So he's done a little bit of everything tonight. And, you know, one of the things we didn't talk about, this is actually the Long Island's decided to use another challenge.
Yeah, they used their second challenge. They felt like McClung just forced the action and was just tripped up on his own.
But I think the biggest question is, did he lose the basketball before the contact, right? Because as you see here we go. This is a great angle right here. He just takes it right at the defender, right? Who I think does an excellent job of getting a piece of the basketball.
But Mac did trip over his leg. I think this one's going to stay as a foul against Long Island. As Mac goes sliding to the ground, he got the worst of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about supreme confidence as an offensive player. You saw two defenders. Instead of saying, you know, I'll back it off and set up the offense, he says, you know what, I'm going to go right between them.
But he also saw a defender of size who was already backpedaling. So he just closed the gap with his speed and then crossed over just enough so he didn't square up the defender, created enough contact, and then fell to the ground, or in this case got tripped. And we'll be interested to see what the call is going to be right here. They're coming in for a third opinion here. Maybe it's not as clear as we think.
Take another
that's
look
my
at
thing.
it.
I don't know the exact rule, but does he actually lose possession? The ball's tipped, right? But see how he's putting up that right arm? Is that something they're looking at? Because now he totally loses control of the basketball and then goes tumbling to the ground.
Yeah, I think the only way you could overrule that is to say that he lost possession of the ball, so it's just a play on. In that case, they probably will jump the ball at center court, but to me, it still looks like a foul against the Nets.
Well, you were right the last time, so you're probably right this time. Boy, I sound like I'm at home.
You want to put the photo back up of your wife and your dog?
That's right, baby. I know what I'm talking about. You're right, honey. I've just eliminated the part where I sound like a smartass and say, you're right, I'm wrong.
Well, after looking at it a second time, the three game officials are going to huddle up and make a determination. Jafar Kinsey, J.P. Prim, Tommy Wu getting together, and it's not a school night, so I guess they can take a little more time.
Kids can stay up late tonight. Yeah. I need to get home, though. What are they doing? Man, this game's taking forever.
Yeah, these replay reviews do have a tendency to get stretched out.
So apparently it looks like Long Island doesn't really like the call.
No. As Mac McClung making his way to the free throw line. And that's exactly what Windy City needed in this comeback attempt. The clock stopped, McClung with a chance to shoot one free throw for 2 points.
And also they can put some token pressure on the basketball to take some precious seconds off the shot clock. Now the question is, Liddell, I think Liddell only came back in because the player fouled out.
Yeah, Eddie fouled out.
Remember, we talked about my God.
Mac misses the free throw. But he'll try for three instead.
Yes.
Mac says three is better than 2. Take that.
Nice job by Mamadou to get that offensive rebound and find the open man. Cut it to 5. How about that?
They get the ball inside. Liddell unable to get a shot up. Yuki reaching in.
Oh.
Georgie tried to come over and block that shot, but Malachi Smith quickly got it up and scored.
But Malachi Smith did a great job of moving without the basketball. The defense was a little scrambled. He cuts towards the ball. Nice pass. Finishes before Georgie can react and try to get up and block that.
Kawamura going at the taller, well, everybody's taller than Yuki, but he goes at Javon Scott. And we get a foul call against Georgie trying to set a screen and go for the loose ball.
Georgie got called for a push off there. I hated that as a big man, right? Because they're making the move, right? See, now our producer gets in our ear and goes, yeah, he yanked him. But what you didn't see is the fact that Roberts had actually locked on to Georgie's leg. Like I said, as a big, you hate that because you've got position, they lock onto your leg, and then you can't move. Yeah, and then you go to break free, and you throw them.
Unfortunate turn of events. The foul.
See how he's locked his leg, and then when Georgie goes to throw him, he might have acted a little bit. Oh,
Georgie will try a 3.
Yes.
Hey, he's 2 out of 3. His percentage continues to increase.
Still leading the league.
Yep. Bulls back within 6, 3:20 to go here in the fourth quarter in Now Arena. An exciting finish brewing. E.J. Liddell against his former team. Step back 3 for Liddell off the back iron. Gay skying for the rebound. Billy Donovan waving his arm, signaling push, push. Back to Georgie. Scoop shot no good. Put back. Can't get it to go. We get a foul called against the Nets. That'll send Bezhanishvili to the line. And this is a big free throw for Giorgi. He's missed his last 2 attempts, needs to convert this time. He can pull the Bulls within 4, which would be the closest they've been in a long time.
Yep. Last time Giorgi was in this position, he missed the free throw. He's got to take his time, breathe, knock this thing down.
Giorgi
yes,
converts.
There you go, Giorgi.
17 points, 10 rebounds for the former Fighting Illini star, Giorgi Bezhanishvili. And the Bulls within 4, 2:55 to go.
Little 5-0 run by Giorgi.
Kawamura pressuring Malachi Smith out front. Smith working around the screen. Liddell bangs into Bezhanishvili. We get a blocking foul call against Giorgi.
And regardless, they're already in the penalty, so whether it was before the shot or not, he's going to the free throw line.
That's 5 fouls on Giorgi.
See, you notice how you saw Yuki do this earlier, right? You got your opponent moving, and he can't establish a good base. You get rewarded for lowering your shoulder, and you actually create the contact.
Liddell short arms the free throw, and the rebound goes to Mac McClung.
Yeah, Liddell, something's right. He's not healthy. He's wincing when he ran back, so.
He hurt his wrist on a foul earlier.
But I don't know if it was
kind of shaking it off.
But he pointed to his leg when they asked to come out the last time. So let's see what we got here.
McClung going hard to the hoop, dishes it back to Yuki. Shot clock at 4. Yuki's got to get something up at the rim, and he draws a foul. Good work by Yuki Kawamura. Shot clock about to expire. He was able to get a shot up at the rim. He'll go to the free throw line.
Well, he steps back with the pump fake. The defender steps down. Then he tries to step through. Another pump fake. There you go, right? Gets him up on his toes. Then he steps through. Creates the contact. It's so difficult for that defender, right? When you expose the ball like that, you try to poke at it. More times than not, you're just going to get him across the arm. Excellent job there.
Yuki now 6 for 6 at the free throw line. The Bulls are within 2 with 2:20 to go.
1 possession ball game.
Roberts just pounding the ball out front. You can see the net's getting a little bit tight here in the late stages of this game. Malachi Smith goes the opposite corner. Three-pointer no good, and the smallest player on the floor, Kawamura, skies for the rebound. McClung now, step through move. Caleb Grill back on the floor. Kawamura going between the legs. A little one-on-one ISO, up in the air, around and out, no good. Giorgi taps it back out. Caleb Grill from way downtown, and the Windy City Bulls are in front by 1.
Never say never.
Great job by Bezhanishvili to tap it back out. It pays off in 3 for Caleb Grill. Kawamura's got 5 fouls. He's got to be careful here. Liddell will try a 3. That's short. And Mohamedou Gueye gets the rebound. McClung looking to push. Grill another 3. Yes. Give it to him. Windy City up by 4 with 1:17 to go. Timeout for the Long Island Nets. Great execution, Will, on those last 2 sequences.
Well, a great job by Yuki to find the opening man. Grill's been quiet for a while. Didn't quite have the game he was having last night, but now 3 of 5 from behind the arc. Scored the last 6.
Let's take a look at these sequences here. Giorgi with a nice tap out sets up Yuki to Caleb Grill for 3. And Grill had not played much in the second half. He comes back in with confidence in transition. He shoots another one.
Well, he picked it up. Great look ahead by McClung, and he just catches that thing, gets his feet set, and lets it fly.
And we talk about the pace that the Bulls play at. Billy Donovan constantly waving his arm. Let's play fast. Let's play fast. And you can see they kind of caught the Nets back on their heels and are able to get an open look for Caleb Grill. In that situation with a 1-point lead, some teams will pull it out, try to work the clock. Instead, they attacked, and they got a good look at 3.
Well, they got, as you said, they caught Long Island on their heels because Long Island looked to jump up and press and apply some pressure in the 3-quarter court. But with the quick pass up the court by McClung, there's really only 1 defender back trying to guard 3 guys. And they did an excellent job of just knocking down the open shot.
And we should remind everyone, as in the final 2 minutes of the game or any overtime period, we revert to the standard free throw rules. You have to shoot all your free throws the rest of the way. That may be a factor as we head down to the final 117 here. Bulls now looking to get a defensive stop and maybe extend this lead.
But also, again, like they did in the second period, leaning hard on their defense, and it's paying dividends.
Roberts, the step through against McClung, misses. Mack gets the rebound. Should have been a foul called, and the referees say play on. Georgie's complaining to the official. He's got to get back into play here. McClung got hit in the face there as Roberts tried to get his own miss, but fortunately he was able to control the ball. 10 on the shot clock. Mack between defenders goes up with the left hand and lays it in. Bulls trying to ratchet down the defense. They drop it off to Liddell. Bangs into Bezhanishvili, and that's going to be it for Georgie. He tried to stop Liddell, and I think you're right about Liddell. He has not looked the same here in the last few minutes. But they're trying to force the ball to him. Bezhanishvili fouling out of the game with 40.3 seconds to go. E.J. Liddell will shoot 2 free throws. Billy's going to go small or get another ball handler in here. He's got Wooga Poplar going to the scorer's table.
Wooga's, I thought, had a positive influence, right? He's done a great job.
As you saw Georgie getting congratulations from his teammates on the bench, did a really nice job. Made some really heads-up plays to give them additional scoring opportunities.
Well, 17 points, 11 rebounds in today's game.
Liddell will shoot 2. Chance to pull his team within 4 if he can make both. He knocks down the first. A couple of substitutes coming on the floor for the Long Island Nets. Hunter Couture, Chaney Johnson back in. I think they're trying to exert some full court pressure.
Well, there's no doubt about that, because they got to force the action now. They can't allow, if you're Long Island, you can't allow Windy City to just take time off the clock.
Liddell makes both free throws, so it's 4-point game, 40.3 seconds left. Long Island with full court pressure. They get the ball into McClung. Double team in the corner. Caleb Grill looking for somebody. Now Poplar out at go on top to Mohamedou Gay. I thought that might be a turnover waiting to happen, but he got it over the top of the defender.
Yeah.
The defender kind of backed away from Poplar.
Yep.
He read the play,
but he just couldn't
the
get
pass
up high
was
enough.
just high enough to get over the top.
Yep.
So continuing the philosophy, not pulling the ball out, they wanted to continually attack. That time, by inches, they got that alley-oop pass, and Mohamedou Gay flushed it.
Yep. You see, they get it over. Now you have a numbers game, right? And then Johnson, he understands what's going on, but he just reacts a step too late. And Gay able to go up with 2 hands and finish it.
131 to 125, 33.2 seconds left. This has been a heck of a comeback.
What a
there was a
turnaround.
period in the fourth quarter where the offense was kind of stagnant. They were forcing Yuki Kawamura to really be a one-man gang offensively, but then all of a sudden, Windy City found its groove.
We talked about, right, because of the fact that they were double-teaming McClung anytime he had the basketball coming off screens. They stopped running the screen action, and they went through that stretch where they put the ball in Yuki's hands. And it totally changed the momentum of the game because of their ability now to score on almost every offensive possession. And you saw that then ignited the effort and recharged that defense, much like we saw in the second quarter.
You saw head coach Billy Donovan, and he's very excited about the way his team has come back in this one. Trailing by as many as 16. They now lead it by 6. And then here they want to make sure that they don't give Long Island a good look at a 3-point attempt. Malachi Smith taking the inbound pass, coming off the screen. He'll drive into the paint, floats one up off the back iron, no good. Liddell pushing off for the rebound. He gets called for the foul. And Caleb Grill holding his forehead. He got banged up there. I think Liddell might have pushed him into the basket support.
Did he hit the basket support with his face?
We'll take another look. Liddell was called for a push from behind, trying to clear some space. Oh, he got caught by his teammate Mohamedou Gay.
Yeah.
kind of a chain reaction there, like a car crash. Liddell pushed Mohamedou Gueye into his teammate Caleb Grill.
Grill was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Foul against Liddell is his 4th personal foul, and will walk to the other end and shoot free throws. Mohamedou Gueye will shoot 2, a chance to extend this lead to 8. As Gueye knocks down the first, you can see that the Nets have really tightened up on the offensive end. That time Smith got into the paint, missed a little floater.
Yep, it just. And that's one of the things why, you know, coaches, when they call these timeouts, they're talking to their team about, you know, you got to be careful. This team's dangerous. You can't let them hang around. And unlike yesterday, where Long Island put the Bulls away, they couldn't do it today. They just let them hang around, and they just slowly built up some momentum.
2 free throws for Gueye. Liddell goes to the hoop, misses. Chaney Johnson goes flying in for the tip, gets knocked to the deck. It'll be a foul against Windy City. Goes against Caleb Grill. It'll be 2 free throws for Chaney Johnson with 18.5 seconds left. Yeah, Liddell missed the shot, and Caleb Grill wanted to screen him off, but got caught under the basket. Good hustle by Chaney Johnson to create another shot attempt. His first free throw is good. Long Island out of timeouts. Windy City has 2. But in the G League, each team gets an opportunity to advance the ball once without a stoppage. We'll see if that comes into play in these final 18.5 seconds. Bulls right now just need to avoid a turnover and make their free throws. Johnson knocks down 2, pulling his team within 6. Caleb Grill inbounding the ball, looking for somebody to throw it to. We get a timeout called before Caleb Grill throws it length of the floor. So Billy Donovan saw that Caleb Grill was struggling to get the ball in, decides to call timeout, making sure they don't take a turnover there. You know, one of the things about it is, you know, you watch the best athletes in the world seem to always struggle against full court pressure late in games. What is it about that? Just you don't practice against it, and that it shows up late in games?
Well, the speed at which the Bulls play in practice, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
So I don't think, you know, and one of the things we see now with a lot of teams that just don't get a lot of time on the floor, right? Because of the pace they play, they need to take advantage of their rest when they can. But it's also it's hard to simulate game-type pressure, game-type reaction, right? This Bulls team knows that they were down.
Right.
They were almost out. You know, the old saying is they had 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on the banana peel, but they refused to give up, right? And they fought all the way back, and now they realize this is our game to lose. And that can get you a little tight. Let's see what happens here at this point. They advance the ball forward. See what we got going on here.
So Caleb Grill will inbound the ball right in front of our broadcast position, and they threw it away. Hunter Couture. They get it back to Liddell. He's going to go straight to the rim. Step back 3. Way short. Ball tapped away. Nice hands by Caleb Grill, and that's going to do it. Wooga Poplar will dribble it out in a very satisfying win for the Windy City Bulls. They come all the way back from a 16-point deficit, and they split the 2-game series against the Long Island Nets, winning tonight's game 133 to 127. Our final score presented by Are You Really Winning? And we're going to chat with Mac McClung in just a minute after the teams exchange handshakes after a hard-fought 2-game series. And I give the Windy City Bulls a lot of credit the way they battled back in this one.
They really did. I mean, they had every reason to give up. You're talking about they were in a situation to where, you know, they were down 16 at one point, but they were also, you know, working on, you know, they got embarrassed yesterday a little bit, right? But Long Island kind of had their way. But remember, McClung played last night in Toronto. You know, Yuki also did as well. They flew back. I know I talked to Casey Johnson earlier today. I think he said he walked into his door, you know, like 1:32 a.m. So credit them with, you know, doing what you have to do in the NBA on back-to-backs. And I mean, he was dynamic on the offensive end of the floor. An excellent job by them just consistently just finding a way to stick around, hang around, and, you know, pull out this game.
And this new backcourt is going to be fun for Windy City fans to watch. 33 points, 7 assists for Mac McClung, 25 points, 13 assists for Yuki Kawamura. As Mac comes over to join us at the broadcast position. Great job today, Mac. And I'll tell you what, you guys showed so much resiliency to come back in that fourth quarter. How did you guys rally? You know, things weren't going that well in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, you guys caught fire.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in the huddle, I was just saying, like, the best teams are always poised, you know, and they're always bringing effort. So it's like, in these G League games, it's always a game, no matter what the situation is. I've been in a lot of these games, so I know how they go. But, man, people stepped up. You know, we weren't who we were in the first half, but we stepped up. And our defense, that's all it was about. We just stepped our defense up and got it going.
So how did you feel tonight coming into the game? We all know that you were in Toronto, played last night.
Yeah.
I think I was told you guys got home about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So how did you go about getting yourself? I mean, mentally is one thing, right? You walk in, you know what you got to do. Sometimes the body doesn't respond, but obviously with your performance tonight, it obviously responded.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think, you know, not to I think me and you got in at 3 a.m. last night. I wish it was 1:30, but no, I mean, that's the part of this league. You got to keep going. You can't feel sorry for yourself because we're blessed. At the end of the day, it was a blessing to be in Toronto and then be here tonight. And I want to shout out Caleb Grill, man. Those are some huge shots, man. He was amazing. Shout out to Yuki. He was incredible, man. And I tell him all the time, I just love playing with Yuki, man. He's incredible.
So what is your situation now with your two-way? Have they given you any type of direction on what they plan on doing?
No, I just go with the flow, man. At this point, you know this business. I go, they tell me to jump, I say how high, and whatever they want, that's what I'll do, man.
Yeah, we want to congratulate you. You deserve that so much. You've been such an exemplary leader with this team. You know, people always, when they hear Mac McClung, they think slam dunk. You've shown so much for this team as a leader, a facilitator. Your ball handling's been on point. You know, you've done everything that Coach Donovan has asked for you, being a true pro. And it's really great to see a guy like you rewarded. So I want to say that first off. But you know, you and Yuki, this is going to be a fun backcourt to watch you guys play. I mean, you know, you guys really took over this game.
Yeah, man, he's amazing. Some of the passes he makes, it's just incredible, man. Me and him, we were sharing film. We were on the flight, and he was asking me some questions about scoring, and I was asking him some questions about his passing, and we started sending each other film and stuff. So it was really cool. I've never really had that situation with another point guard or a back guard mate. So the chemistry's there for sure.
Awesome.
Well, come on out to Now Arena. You're going to want to see these guys play. They're both on two-way contracts, but we're going to see a lot of them here in Windy City. Great victory today. Congratulations again on the two-way deal.
Thank you very much.
Mac McClung, our star of the game, 33 points. Yuki had 25 and 13. The Windy City Bulls a winner tonight, 133 to 127. We've had two very exciting games these last couple of days. Get your tickets at WindyCityBulls.com. You're going to love seeing this team play. I want to thank our great producer, Joe DiGiacomo, our director, Pete Strauss, our outstanding camera crew doing a fantastic job as always. A great come-from-behind win tonight, 133 to 127. The homestand continues next Wednesday. We'll have those games for you Wednesday and Thursday, a back-to-back situation, so make sure to tune in and watch us here on the Chicago Sports Network. For Will Perdue, I'm Mark Shanowski saying good night. Enjoy your weekend.
This copyrighted broadcast of the NBA G League may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA G League.